Christ. No. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Free For All, your source for all things geek. I'm your temporary host, Trey Elliott. Joining me, as always, Josh Barnett.
What if we made it permanent?
I mean, you have to talk with this guy on Facebook about it.
He can't do nothing about it.
And also Chuck Nally.
He's not here to vote.
Hashtag 3 for all.
Yeah!
Bringing it back.
Oh, shit! Josh thought this whole time we were coming for him, but it was really Evan.
Yep.
The
Okie
whole
doke.
time. We just had to let Evan believe he was safe.
That's right.
Got him.
Take that, you big tall bastard.
Yeah.
We could
That's not true.
Hey, since he's not here, we could not beat Goldberg in a fight.
That is correct.
100%.
Do we have a consensus?
Sorry,
He
man.
would murder
Have
us.
we reached a core?
The
All
official
in favor
free-for-all
that we
word?
would get our ass kicked, raise their hand. Okay, so
Aye.
3. All right, the threes, all 3 of us have it.
Unanimous.
I'm glad we could finally settle that once and
Yeah,
for
I mean,
all.
it's been hanging over our
as
heads.
an official free-for-all podcast
Man.
stance.
Just ridiculous that we ever even really had the conversation. to
That's
It
begin
really
with.
true.
is.
That's true.
You would think we just all agree when it comes to common sense.
Right.
That it's all you pussy.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I mean, there's not
Talk
even
about-
any dissenting voices here anymore.
I mean, not
which
at
is
all.
the I'm
Yeah.
glad that we could all, talk civil about this.
True story.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about what's been renewed and or canceled.
Oh, I love this part of the show.
Right?
And sometimes hate it.
It's so good. Mr. Robot has gotten renewed for a 4th and final season on USA Network.
I mean,
Does that feel like the right time, Josh? I think you're the one here that still watches it.
so I say every year pretty much that it's the show I love the most that I remember the least about.
Gotcha.
I kind of feel like it's how you live your life.
Man, I'm sorry.
Like, I swear to God.
I thought it was like a candle in the wind.
Well,
It seemed to me, at least.
half a dozen of one,
Oh,
six
it's
of
just
the
going
other.
through my head right now. I can't get that song out. But yeah, I mean that's fine. It's a show that I enjoy thoroughly every year. Season 2 was easily the worst. Season 3 was a great return to form, and I'm always happy for more TV. But I can appreciate when a show is able to go out. Apparently, this is from what I had heard a lot of Rami Malek being more in the know and being more desirable for roles.
Right, he
especially
doesn't want to stay on the show.
yeah, the Bohemian Rhapsody stuff and like scheduling conflicts, things like that. Like, I can understand it. It's sad, but as long as they can write a good ending, there's a lot of shit to wrap up / insane questions to answer about
That could
that
mean the
show.
4th season is like just nonstop crazy, which would be pretty cool. One day I might go back and watch that show. I really like the 1st season. The 2nd season bored the shit out of me, and I
There were
stopped
some
after
cool
a few
parts to
episodes.
it. But
Season 2?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a drop down. I still liked it. I don't know. Did you watch the whole thing?
Mm.
Man, that episode where they're like having dinner in the middle of like Times Square. Like that whole mindfuck of an episode.
Mhm.
And like the episode where the family sitcom in the 80s or whatever.
That was a genius level episode. It
There was
really
some great stuff in there. Season 3 had more crazy moments we talked about on the TV awards show.
Check those out.
7 9/11s at once or
Everybody.
whatever. Like lots of crazy shit like that happened. And some really cool new characters introduced. But if it's time to end, I get it.
Yeah, and at least they know it's not one of those things where right before they like shoot the final episode, they find out they're getting canned. Like I assume they have, if not the whole season still to shoot, a good chunk of it, and they can wrap it all up.
I'd like to believe that this is one of those shows where the overall like plot consensus was created before they made the show,
and they just
and
have
they've
to bring
been
it to its-
filling it in. Yeah, hopefully they're able to yes conclude it with grace and not like
man, nothing ruins a good show like a bad ending.
Man.
So, How I Met Your Mother,
fucking
Fucks.
it. God,
or Dexter, or take your pick.
Seinfeld.
I didn't hate Seinfeld's, though I know most people do. I know I'm in the minority there. Everyone's favorite news: the end of the fucking world is returning for season 2, so that we can all be
not
cripplingly
gonna watch
depressed.
it.
Yeah.
It's like Ozark, but without all the good drama, and that it makes.
How
me
much of
just-
that did you watch?
Ozark or End of the Fucking World?
No, that one.
4 episodes.
Oh,
And I watched
I-
one.
Yeah, I for a little bit I actually liked it, and then just it never got any. It never changed. It was just them moping constantly, And like I thought, like there would be some sort of turn in it at some point, and I got 2/3 of the way through the show, and
He was basically just sociopathic, right? Like,
yeah, they both essentially were very clearly had some sort of personality disorder.
like just no morality for anything, didn't give a fuck. Like,
It started to feel like maybe he just wanted it to be that way,
Okay.
and it wasn't actually that way. But
so like
they definitely have some sort of social.
for a portrayal like that actually works, and a story told like that that actually is done well. Check out Thoroughbreds from this year.
Okay.
Like in terms of
It's a movie though.
Yeah, it is a movie. But Anya Taylor-Johnson and Olivia Cooke, I talked about it when it first came out.
Mhm.
The character of Olivia Cooke, she does that incredibly well. She plays like the complete emotionless,
I can see that.
sociopathic, like, but this is like for a medical condition type thing.
Right.
This show never pulled me in at all.
It wasn't great for sure. I wouldn't call it like an awful show, but it wasn't great. But it did well enough to get a second season, so good for them.
Better than everything sucks, I guess.
Yeah, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely
And the
would
Joe
not have
McHale
agreed
show
with
with
that,
Joe
but-
McHale.
See, now I'd much rather take Into the Fucking World. Sacha Baron Cohen has said basically no official announcement from Showtime, but he's basically said there's no plans to do any more.
That's what SBC meant.
Correct. Who is America? His Showtime show where he is basically pranking a bunch of politicians to say crazy shit and terrify everyone who watches it because that shit is just fucking ridiculous. Roy Moore apparently this week filed like a $80 or $95 million lawsuit against him and Showtime.
Is he the guy who went super crazy and mooned everybody?
No, that's a Georgia
This is the
State
guy
senator.
who is a pedophile in Alabama.
He was running.
Oh, Roy Moore.
What did I say?
I thought you said Moyer.
Oh no,
I was
Moore.
like, I don't know who that is.
No, yeah, Roy Moore. Yeah, the Alabama senator.
Was he involved in it in any way, or he just wanted to?
Yeah, he got interviewed.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he was on the show.
I never watched a second of
He's
this
on
She
the
show.
was
show.
asking about like how Young was old enough. Like, did you watch that episode?
And I haven't watched the episode, but I do know that he basically at one point pulls out what is clearly just a metal detector, like one of those handheld wands.
Oh, that's right.
And it's a pedophile detector that he convinces Roy Moore was made in Israel, because he's playing like this Israeli like special forces guy to detect pedophiles, and then it totally goes off on Roy Moore, and he like freaks the fuck out and like walks off the interview. But he's now suing Sacha Baron Cohen and suing Showtime.
What was the
for-
Palin one about? I never saw that one come on.
I haven't seen that one either. I only watched the first 2 episodes so far.
Oh, okay.
So, it just kind of got lost in the shuffle. I will at some point go back and watch the Crazy, but like I saw the Dick Cheney episode.
Yeah, that's the first one.
I thought Dick Cheney was the second episode. Either way, where he signs
You're
his
right.
waterboarding
You're right.
kit.
You're right. You're right.
It's Richard Cheney.
Man, that dude is something else. That show is something else.
A good shot.
Not
Oh.
good enough, apparently.
According to the Peanut Gallery, they didn't air hers.
Oh, did they not?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was really curious to see what that one looked like. I bet she's a fucking psycho too. Anyway,
Chances are.
yeah. Big Bang Theory also coming to an end after this year. This was
Huzzah!
the last year that I know they renewed it for like 3 years at one point. This was the last of those.
Roughly about, say, 2.5 years ago, maybe.
Correct.
What's up?
You fucking dick.
Mm.
Cheney.
Sammy. Rumor is they wanted to continue the show. Most folks on the show also wanted to continue it, but Jim Parsons, after 13 or 14 years, whatever it's been, is
And
ready to
where
move
would
on.
they be without the stellar comedy of Penny?
You say whatever the fuck you want, dude. That's one of the most successful comedies in history.
I know.
I mean,
I don't get
I
it.
agree.
For like the
it's
first
not
2
hilarious.
seasons, it's manageably funny. It is like okay.
Yeah,
But-
the Big Bang Theory certainly lost its shine after a while for me. But some amount of people that love CBS
Also,
and
that
NCIS,
dude got richer than we will ever dream
Oh,
to be off
God,
of that
yeah.
shit. So
he could never work another day in his fucking life and just be completely fine.
Also, he will never work another fucking day in his life.
I'm sure he'll be on. He'll
He'll be the voiceover on Young Sheldon.
I was going to
Sure.
say he's probably going to guest
I
spot
am
in some
curious if they
weird
keep-
time travel shit.
Keep him doing that. I don't know if that show ends because of this as well or not. They haven't really said.
I mean, if he just does the
But
voiceover,
that's a big deal
stuff,
that
like,
that show's ending.
I don't think that he would probably turn that down. It's probably a really easy paycheck that he's going to get a lot of money for.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean,
But-
regardless of what we think of it, it is a comedy legend,
Yeah.
sitcom legend.
I mean,
Regardless,
it is officially like it is a show that will be
I mean,
syndicated and on fucking TBS in the middle of the day.
it was like for a while
decades.
in my
Mhm.
head, like it was very much like in the How I Met Your Mother block too. Like they started around similar times. They started
Yeah.
getting syndicated at same times, and I used to watch like on WB or whatever, like CW, WB Jesus.
WB Jesus. You can call me today. I'll take
Man.
care of your personal attorney needs.
Did you read that
Oh,
newspaper
WB
article, by the
Jesus.
way, that Evan
WB
shared?
Jesus?
No.
That article that Evan shared about the people,
Who sold golden tickets to
Yes.
heaven?
yeah, given to him by Jesus behind a KFC.
KFC.
so
They
that
needed to
can
go
s-
meet an alien named Steve who'd take them to a planet made of drugs.
That lady, I can just imagine how sincere she said that to the police at the end. Like, all we wanted to do
My
was go
God.
to space and do drugs. What is wrong with that?
My favorite
the
part at the
American
very
dream.
end was when it said police confiscated drugs, blah, 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 and
And a baby alligator.
It's so funny.
Man, what a life they led.
Sorry, but yeah, I mean, obviously, people are probably sad that that show ended. Like I said, I had always conflated it very much with How I Met Your Mother until I started watching it, and that show very clearly clicked with me for 8.5 seasons, and then
Sure, as
this-
it should have.
you know, outside of Kaylee Cuoco for a little while, the rest of Big Bang Theory did not.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think I watched the first maybe 4 seasons of Big Bang, and
I was
then
around
lost
5 or
track.
6, I guess, maybe.
I went back and watched like up through season 6. I think definitely Blossom, I forget her name, was in it when I stopped watching,
Mayim Bialik.
which I think is season 4 maybe.
So I mean,
5.
I've probably seen like the first 8 seasons of that show because yeah, I think for a while I did try and go back and Netflix it all or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it's just I realized halfway through I was like,
Is that
this
on
just isn't-
Netflix?
It was.
No.
It's
for
funny.
sure.
It's just not hilarious. Like it's like I would like be like, huh, yeah, like especially obviously some of the stuff they reference is topical for us. Sometimes
Fuck
not.
is that supposed to mean?
We're fucking nerds.
Oh.
It also felt like so. I mean, and I'm not like one of those gatekeepers out there who are like fuck that show. It tries to like yeah,
the worst.
to like play off of nerd
God
culture. It
forbid we
doesn't care.
mainstream nerd culture.
Those dudes were the ones that got that girl to quit Twitter.
Yes, all of the girls to quit Twitter. To be
I'm
honest with you.
specifically talking about the
Kelly
Star
Marie
Wars girl.
Tran.
Kelly Tran.
I'm not going to say her name.
Oh.
I'm not going to disrespect her like that. Because that
Okay.
would have made something up.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I got.
that, like,
I was
WB
like
Jesus.
saying her name is disrespect. Holy shit. But yeah, like it definitely felt like very surface level nerd comedy. Like it didn't
Yeah,
it didn't hit the beats correctly.
but if
Zazie.
it would have been like deep dives into
It did
nerd
not hit
culture,
the Zazie beats correctly. You're right.
if it would have like taken a deep dive into nerd culture, I don't think it would have been the success
it
that
would
it was
have
potentially.
been, and like I'm not putting these on the same level because one is clearly better than the others, and you're gonna make a joke either way. It would have been Community. It would not have been Big Bang Theory. It would have lasted a few seasons. It would have been really popular with nerd culture, but then would have died.
That's fair.
Community was popular in nerd culture?
Very,
It's
very
got a
much
very
so.
like underground kind of following or whatever, cult following.
Very much so.
I mean, that show's
Yeah.
dumb, but it does have that. Designated Survivor
Shut up, Evan.
coming back, living up to its name.
From the grave.
Indeed. Canceled by ABC this past fall, and then
Another bad creation.
Fuck yeah.
and Netflix saved it, as streaming services are now want to do.
Apparently.
Which shows
Except for Constantine. The fuck, man?
that man, it was before its time.
I know.
It needed to get canceled about 2
And
seasons later.
forever. Forever would have been. a
Forever's
Netflix
dead,
pickup.
Josh. Forever's dead.
What if they brought it back?
They won't, and they wouldn't have back then.
Yeah, they would have.
No, I don't
That
think
show
they
was
would have.
great.
That show was really good, and Netflix would not have brought it back.
Watch the final episode, you fuck.
No, I'm good. I'm trying to savor it. But yeah, I'm super excited. The second season of Designated Survivor was admittedly not nearly as good as the first, but it was still
I fell off hard on that show.
it was still good when it was more West Wing than it was like bad spy thriller. I liked it a lot more, and it definitely towards the end of season 2 did that. It almost not
like,
like there was
course corrected very hard.
there was like 5 or 6 minutes, maybe 10 at the most, that were dedicated to Maggie Q and figuring out whatever the fuck was going on in that shit I do not care about. Like, it had no point.
Whoever
political stuff
actually
was
decided
great.
to, blow up the Capitol
Yeah.
building and all that.
In the first season, that was semi-interesting. In the second season, it was awful.
I mean, the show did work much better as a West Wing light.
Yes, and I'm fine with. I get it. It's not going to be West Wing, but I will
Nothing
take West
ever
Wing
will
Light
be.
at this point with Kiefer.
I
That's a
wish-
pretty good compromise.
Are they actually doing that West Wing revival?
I mean, I've heard
that would be
talks
awesome.
about it, like everything
awesome.
from like Sam being president and Charlie being his chief of staff, or to
It would be interesting to have
Josh
Sam
being
come back.
chief of staff, to just like a new person.
That'd be cool.
Because Rob Lowe just dipped on that show hard.
He had
Yeah,
to
he
do that lawyer show that got canceled in 3 episodes.
That was what?
That's what happened.
What lawyer show?
I don't know. I'll look it up for you though.
The only one I remember that's a lawyer show is the Fred Savage one in him, and
No.
that was 2 decades after West
No,
Wing
that was the
ended.
Grinder.
I liked that show.
I did too. I watched every
It was
single
alright.
episode.
Too.
of
It was really good.
The Grinder.
Netflix has ordered, I think, 13 episodes, maybe 10, but it's definitely a shorter season, and it's supposed to specifically deal with him campaigning to actually become elected president.
And he loses to Jimmy Smits in the end.
It's entirely possible. One can only hope that this has some Jimmy Schmitz in it at some point, but either way, I'm excited for it to come back, and it sounds like it's going to be more political. I'm hoping they just drop the intrigue stuff
Have
altogether.
they managed to do the thing which no show at all can do and keep current politics out of it?
More or less. There's a
Sorry,
few
it was
things that
a
are
doctor,
clearly-
not a lawyer. It's
See?
called Dr. Vegas.
Oh man, he fucked up.
That sounds bad.
It does. Like there's some stuff like that's a little Law and Ordery, and that like clearly they took this headline and changed it.
See, yeah,
they deal with like a thing that's clearly supposed to be North Korea at one point, but it's not like in your face, and it's not a commentary on current events. It's just borrowing from news items and current events. The way Netflix describes this third season sounds like it's kind of current events and Trump though, and I really hope they don't lean into it hard, because that will definitely sour me personally. Like I need to keep those things separate. But that's all the news and all the cancels. Not too bad of a list this time around.
Yeah, nothing that'll be like sorely missed aside from Mr. Robot, but if they end it well, I'm good with it.
Yeah, and I'm excited about Designated Survivor coming back, so that's cool.
Designated Survivor.
Let's start with some Star Wars news.
Star Wars.
The best kind of news.
You don't say.
One, Dominic Monaghan
Yeah.
has been officially cast in Star Wars Episode 9.
As a key grip.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Fuck you. That is Mary.
He's
and that
actually
is
just
Charlie.
voicing a droid that dies in the first 3 minutes of the film.
They can bring droids back.
Possibly. No, we don't know what he's going to play. There's been no rumor or speculation.
I love that dude though. Like he's not
great.
done a whole lot, but he was a really cool guest character on Chuck for one episode. He was great as Charlie, and he was fantastic as Mary. Like I love that dude.
Yeah,
His jaw's jacked up. What happened to that jaw? It
he
points
got
in
jacked up.
It points in a different direction than it's supposed to.
Does it?
Have you never noticed that?
Nope.
It's like taking a right turn when his face is taking a left.
I get lost in the eye.
It zigs when it should have zagged.
Absolutely.
Does he have a mustache?
I don't know.
You know who does?
Who's that?
Henry Cavill.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he does.
You might not know it sometimes, but he always does.
I still don't see the effect, man. Whatever.
What?
I own that movie. I've watched it multiple times.
There's pictures.
I still don't see the pictures.
Ignorance
Yeah,
is
I can
bliss.
see it in stills, but I can't see it when I'm watching the fucking movie.
Ignorance is bliss, Chuck.
Yeah.
He's also
But
going to
that
play
mustache
I
was
thought your
worth
name
it.
Gerald.
was Josh. Who?
Geralt. Geralt.
Jerry for short?
It is Geralt of Rivia, you ass. And Yennefer will be there. And it is going to be great.
God, oddly enough, all of a sudden don't want to watch this fucking show. No, Henry Cavill has been cast as the lead in Netflix's adaptation of The Witcher, which I just found out very recently from Josh here, is based mostly on the book.
Way
not
more based on the books.
technically the video game.
The Polish books than the games, and there are some significant differences from what I understand. I'd actually like to read them. I don't know how well they're translated or if at all, but
I've heard there's some audiobooks you can
are there?
get
Okay.
hooked up with,
Um,
according to Giant Bomb.
according to the fan like photoshops and things, like he looks awesome as the role. Like I really like Henry Cavill. Obviously, I like him because he's my favorite Superman, who is among my 2 favorite comic book heroes in general. But he was really fun in Mission Impossible as well. He was good in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Like, he's a charming guy. Is he the best actor in the world? No, but I totally think he can pull off this role.
Oh yeah, I mean Netflix like fantasy show. He's totally perfectly fine caliber of actor for that.
I think it's a huge get for this particular show. Usually,
Yeah.
like even with Why the Last Man, which is a pretty well known property, they didn't go out and get like I mean, Henry Cavill's a worldwide star. They didn't get a worldwide star to be
that's a big
York,
name.
So
Yeah,
Agreed.
who'd they get as York again?
that dude, that little kid that got killed in Dunkirk in the bottom of the boat.
Yeah, fucked up face kid.
I mean,
Fucked up face kid. Netflix must have named
not
him.
as-
Yeah, they did.
it's not
He's
as,
the first Netflix baby.
it's not as bad as old Boomerang Jaw.
Still don't know what you're talking about.
Zigged when he should have zagged, Josh.
Right.
No, I'm not paying attention to that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, no one has definitely heard about this. There's a new Die Hard movie coming out.
What?
Right?
What are they going to call it?
I believe they're going to call it McClane.
That's stupid.
It's been called Die Hard by press, Die Hard Year One for like a good while. I guess it's kind of been the working title, but they came out this past week and said it's called McClane.
And it is, you're right, it is a split timeline.
Yes.
Bruce Willis and whoever they get to play young him. I can't remember. Did they actually cast it already or no?
Maybe if so, I have not seen who they cast.
I think it's
as.
Jet Li.
That's fair.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Or at least
Please
that's
let Jackie Chan be young.
Or at least that's how he imagines himself,
It's still going to be better than fucking
Also,
Die Hard 5.
just give me Die Hard redone, but starring Jackie Chan. I would watch the shit out
They've
of that.
probably made essentially that. But what does it matter? We got Die Hard starring The Rock this year, and it was great.
That's fair. It was really good.
He held up that bridge on his own.
He did. That movie's so dumb. I love it.
He was the backup to Warren Sapp back in the old Miami championship
Yep.
days.
You know, he got super angry one time, got crazy, ripped his helmet off, and chased a guy around the field for a while.
Really? Wow.
Tried to kill him.
That's crazy to think of now. He's like seems like such a giant teddy bear.
Yeah, dude, if you read his book, The Rock says,
I've read the Mankind autobiography, but not the
I
Rock.
read them in back-to-back days.
They were definitely out at the same time. I
Yeah, they
remember
were
that.
also very easy reads. But he had a real anger problem growing up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool that he's seems to be at least the polar opposite now.
Also,
Hopefully he is.
Mankind wrote his book. The Rock did not.
Giant stacks of money will tend to.
Calm,
nice and young.
calm your tits.
I'm gonna just start. Is it okay for me to start handing out money to women and to say, "Here, calm your tits"?
I
If
mean,
money
you can
does
see
such
what
a thing?
happens.
I mean, I might get lucky, but probably not.
There's only one way to find out, really.
There is indeed.
News at 11.
All right.
Top Gun.
That was weird.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
really like that movie. I'm pretty much the only one. It's getting a sequel,
I think it's okay.
which
Called-
was coming out in 2019. It's called Top Gun Maverick.
Damn right it is.
I don't
With
have
the
that
question
written
mark
down.
and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3
because you don't
question
know
marks.
if he's going to be there. He is, but, you don't know.
no, but this movie got pushed back a year.
A full year, which is
Woo.
depressing. But, I mean, they also, it's weird because they had just cast,
Duck, duck.
John Hamm and Ed Harris.
what?
They cast John Hamm and Ed Harris.
Oh, this is
in
a
this film.
This is a solid movie already. Then
Yeah, it's fucking stacked.
And
cast.
Miles Teller, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yes,
He's the one who
Miles Teller,
plays
yes.
Duck Duck.
yeah, Miles Teller is Duck Duck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I hate
Wonders-
you so much. man.
Wonders never cease.
Oh my God. Anyway, this is sad, but hopefully it's not like real big problems.
From what I
Maybe they
hear,
just
it's-
We've been waiting
Oh,
for
it's
30 years.
specifically
What's one
supposed
more?
to be all the plane stunts. They're having trouble. Like they're apparently using some kind of crazy new technology to do all sorts of like on-screen plane tricks and stunts and stuff, and that the like logistics of that is taking much longer and proving much harder than I guess they had initially.
My fear is
Realized.
the plot synopsis of this movie is essentially just stealth, but it's Maverick's and it's Goose's son basically. Stealth is not a good movie.
It's not.
It's
At all.
really not.
Jessica
Who is-
Biel, Jamie Foxx.
And the third guy, yep.
I was going to say, who's the third person? I guess we don't know.
Jed Radwell's in it.
I see that.
Yeah.
He is. He was good. He was up for the part of that Miles Teller got of Duck Duck, but did not get the Duck Duck part.
Is it Duck Duck spelled just D-U-K?
It doesn't matter to me. As long as his name is
It's
Duck
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 Duck.
Goose.
I'm sorry to tell you, it's
Yeah.
not gonna.
I think it's D-U-C. Duck Duck.
Okay. I don't know. What if it was one of each?
Oh, now you're talking. Put those hands together. I like it. You guys tell me about Doom Patrol. Getting a little DC news here.
This is one of those
Rare cases.
golden era comics that I never really got into.
I didn't either.
Man, I was
however,
really counting on you guys.
I know you should have warned us in advance.
No, that's not how I
now
roll.
I do know some of the players, including what is it, Robot Man and Mr.
Robot Man, who
No
was
One
cast.
or Mr. Nobody. Both of them were cast actually.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser was cast as Robot Man, and then Alan Tudyk as Mr. Nobody.
Oh shit! I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, good for Brendan Fraser, man. He's alive.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff again.
Yeah, he's making all that Monkey Bones money. Shit, that was bad.
Money, monkey bones, making monkey bones money. Did you just boomhauer that shit?
I thought you were going to say money moves. I'm like, that's not true at all.
Well, speaking of
Oh,
boomhauer, did
man.
you see the video
That
of
was
the guy
rough.
who decided to play drums to the rhythm of Boomhauer talking?
Yes, it is fucking fantastic.
It's great.
Have you seen that, Chuck? Oh my god, please look that up so we can watch it as soon as this is over. It is fucking magical.
It's a good thing nobody
Yeah,
worked really
so,
hard on these notes,
I don't-
though, by the way.
Listen, man, I did as much research as I could.
That's not on you.
He wasn't picking at you.
No, he's complaining. He said, do
Oh.
research. I wrote notes. I don't care.
Fuck you, Evan.
With my own life.
And
Goldberg would murder
I'm
me,
just
though.
gonna read through the rest of these and
I mean, no,
Well,
I'm
he's-
happy Brendan Fraser's alive. I see what you're saying. Yes. I am happy Brendan
excited
Fraser
for this
is
film.
alive and doing things. I can finally stop seeing Tabooly articles at the bottom of IGN stuff that says, why won't Hollywood cast Brendan Fraser anymore?
Tabooly?
That's the like random generated bullshit articles that like are linked on a bunch of different websites. It's called Tabooly.
It's also a meal.
Yeah. They also reference it in Ready Player One.
Tabooly?
Like when he was like, steampunk. I hate steampunk. The only
Doesn't
thing I
this
hate
sound-
more than steampunk is pirates and Tabooly.
I mean, he could have been referencing the meal.
He wasn't. He was
How do you know?
because it's
Maybe he doesn't like eating tabbouleh. It's a very acquired taste, Josh. Have you ever seen tabbouleh?
Can we just power through the rest of this show?
You didn't
please?
know it was food.
Alec
Admit it.
Baldwin.
Admit it.
Alec
You didn't
Bal-
know it was food.
Shut up. This is the craziest story ever.
It really is, but you know what? It's even crazier.
Alec
Admit it.
Baldwin.
No.
What?
You're not holding
you
a-
fucking steamrolled over my joke that was in support of your joke.
Which one?
I said admit it to him, but you couldn't hear it because you were
Admit
yelling about
it.
something.
Trey's right. Admit it.
No. First of all, that joke only works if you're holding a penny in my face.
Huh? Penny?
Bringing it back.
We suck as a three-person podcast. Just
You suck
I'm
as a
just-
three-person podcast.
Admit it.
I'm just- See, that was hilarious. Oh, man. I set him up. Chuck knocked him down. Alec Baldwin is in the new Joker movie, except that he's not because
don't-
he was only there for 3 days.
I don't know what's going on with this story, but like initially I
It's
thought
the same
maybe
thing
it
that's
was
going
just
on with all
erroneously.
fucking DC Universe movie news.
Shut up. At first I thought it was just erroneously like reported early, but the way that this came out, like it definitely seems like something just rubbed him the wrong fucking way.
Yeah, supposedly
Apparently, they wanted him to be Trump.
Yeah,
essentially.
do something very similar to the Trump impression
As
he's
Thomas Wayne.
now famous for on SNL. But yeah, cast as Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father in the new Joker movie. So,
Well, I mean, good on him for
I don't-
having artistic integrity. I mean, that was
Yeah.
going to be.
well, and also, who the fuck wants to see that again? Like, why
No
do I want to
one.
see a Trump lookalike in my fucking?
I mean, I don't
Joker
think
movie.
so. Again, the like rumor mill and the reports were like, yes, a crazy 80s businessman, much like Donald Trump in his power, but you don't like
I mean, I guess he wasn't going to be orange.
Yeah, he's not
but...
going to be walking around doing his impersonation and doing his stupid like fish lips and looking into the camera, squinty-eyed and shit that he does on SNL. Like,
No, I get that, but
he would have been
reminiscent enough.
He would have been a vibrant, crazy businessman character that doesn't fit the motif or the idea of who Thomas Wayne was, and I'm cool to a different interpretation with that. I don't love Alec Baldwin to the point where I think he's necessary for this role.
Yeah, I like Alec Baldwin, but not necessarily in that role.
He is.
But then again, I don't know what the fuck this movie is gonna be or supposed to be.
I mean, it's got a great cast. It's got good like staffing behind it. Like, I'm excited for this movie, like legitimately. So
I'm glad you can admit it.
Meant something finally.
And lastly, for DC news, DC Universe made a couple of date announcements. The service itself will launch next week on September 15th. And then, in a very odd move, at least as far as I'm concerned, Titans will premiere October 12th, almost a full month later.
Yeah, I can't believe they didn't get a day and date. So what's going to be their day one?
I assume a whole bunch of old stuff. Young Justice, Teen Titans,
Justice League animated movies.
I understand a little bit about that mentality or that reasoning, only because, yes, it's great to get a service out there and have your essential killer app out there day one.
Good.
A la, CBS All Access and Star Trek, right?
I would argue they're the only ones that have done that.
CBS?
Yes.
Yeah,
Everyone else
agree.
was a streaming service and then realized, oh, we should make original content.
Now, this is only a month difference versus, the years it took Netflix to start making their own
right,
product.
But I feel like there's literally only one test case, which is CBS, and it's very clear that shit worked.
It did.
So, like, why would you leave it to DC, in my eyes, to, like...
I'm not talking about getting out there with the content first. I'm talking about getting out there and making sure that you can hold up to the load of users. Right?
Yeah.
Allowing
it's
people.
Beta, though.
I agree, but they really have been rushing this out, that's where they're DCing it more than anything else. But getting out there and giving people a month to check out the old content, look at the quality, probably get their free trial in. They also probably want people to get their free trial in thinking that Titans is out there and then having to wait and re-up a month later, which is shitty, but I guarantee that's part of it.
Smart.
That's good business.
It's the reason that Sea of Thieves that Game Pass had a 30-day free trial the day Sea of Thieves came out, so they can get people, 30 days before Sea of Thieves came out, so they can get people to sign on and purchase it.
Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, it is smart business. It feels shitty,
wait.
but
I agree. You're smarter than the business. Just fucking wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for a lot of the DC stuff. I still don't think Titans looks good, but I'm hoping that the actual show is better. Fuck Batman, indeed, apparently, but I'm hoping the show is better than the trailer.
Another small bit of news for Titans. It is definitely a weekly show. It will not drop all at once.
Good.
Which I'm fine with. We don't necessarily.
I still
need
don't know how I feel about that.
I don't.
I mean, they do weekly shows all the time. The Castle Rock.
Oh, I get that, but again, it's
CBS, Star Trek. Like,
yeah,
and Star Trek. I feel like it's maybe a little different, but just because CBS is already like an established network, they only do weekly shows. What?
They old as fuck. CBS.
Oh, I thought you said they always fuck.
Yeah, CBS does also always fuck.
This network,
but they need the little blue pill because they old as fuck.
No, I actually think it's a smarter decision than dropping it all at once because people get that free trial.
No, I get
binge
business-wise. I agree. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you gotta if you like Titans, you're gonna continue to pay for the service. Which how much is it again?
$75 for the year.
And you can do it monthly too.
$7 a month or something
like
that.
$8 a month, something along those lines.
It's not like too
we'll
expensive, but it's
have
not cheap enough for me.
Really, it's like one of the cheaper streaming services you can get, and it's early.
I'm paying $10 a month for CBS still, and I'm not even watching it until Star Trek comes back.
I mean, what else are you getting on a monthly subscription that's $8 or less these days?
Nothing
is
Netflix
the answer.
Isn't, Hulu isn't.
Stars? I think that's the only thing.
Stars by itself.
Is that an add-on for your Hulu though?
It's an add-on for
Hulu
for Amazon.
Oh,
but yeah,
that doesn't count.
And you can also
that
get
just makes Amazon like more expensive, not Stars that much.
You can get it separate through the app for the same price. I think.
I don't think that's true.
I know you can. I don't know if it's the same price.
I've heard it
I'm
both
positive
ways.
that you can do it through the app. That's how I used to do it, and then I canceled that.
Used to do it. How long ago?
Oh, like when Counterpart started.
You know what? He does have
So
a point.
recently.
Evan did point out Dollar Shave Club.
That's not even $1, Evan. Dollar Shave Club is not
It's
$1.
in the name.
It's not $1.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
some amount of dollars.
It is some amount of dollars. I think the cheapest one that you can get is like $7 a month. Evan, you idiot. Shave more.
God, Evan.
Dumbass.
Marvel news. Guardians of the Galaxy is delayed indefinitely.
Man,
Start off with a bummer.
that movie is probably not coming out.
Oh, I think it will.
I don't think it will, but I think they'll be in another movie, and I think it'll be Thor 54. I think
Thor's
much
score.
like Hulk was in Ragnarok, the next Thor movie will have a Guardians.
I can definitely
Theme.
see that. They did well together.
Yeah, they did great
in
together
Infinity
in
War.
Infinity War.
Obviously,
They
they're
were very
all
fun,
in the
yes.
second, whatever the next Avengers movie is called.
Mm-hmm.
You
Coming
think
out
Drax
real
kills?
soon. So what?
You think Drax kills Thanos after all?
No,
No.
I don't.
No
I
way.
mean, maybe, but I don't.
I don't
I mean,
think
he's
so.
the one who does it normally, right? Spoilers.
One of the times.
Yeah.
Thanos has died a few times, man.
I mean,
Gamora
Thanos,
just recently did it, like literally
Thanos
a couple
was
months ago.
Thanos was a snap victim, so it doesn't really matter anyway. He's already gone.
Much like the Eagles.
Yes, indeed. I'm already I'm all in on that theory. By the way, I totally think he's in the Soul Gem as well, or in Soul World.
Oh man, I hope that's not what they do.
That would be stupid.
It would be real dumb.
Don't do that.
It makes so much sense. Anyway,
Russo brothers, I know you guys are big fans of the show. Don't
We
fucking
appreciate
do that.
that.
Listen to us.
Don't fucking do that, please.
Go. You're gonna need to refilm some
thank
of
for your work. Thank you
Avengers
for your work
4.
on Community.
What?
All right.
Did that happen?
Well, let's move on.
Holy shit. Man, they upgraded big time.
This is, in my opinion, also bad news. But Evan's not here, so we can freely express our opinions about this movie.
Go on.
Tom Hardy says he has signed on for at least 3 more Venom movies.
No, he's not, because that movie's gonna suck and bomb.
God, I hope so.
It looks bad.
It looks real bad.
It looks real bad. It looks like a turd in the wind.
Chuck, how do you feel about this movie?
I don't know. I'm thinking about Pocahontas now. That's,
Because he said "turd in the wind."
That's a quote right out of the Venom trailer.
That's a little weird.
I mean, Colors of the Wind, Turn the Wind. That's pretty
No,
good.
no.
Brown, that
I
would
mean,
be
I
the color
get
of the
why
wind.
you got it. It's just weird.
Or Pocahontas. No?
But apparently they want to make 4 Venom movies.
I mean, it really
maybe
depends
that-
on what the first one is.
Yeah, and maybe it'll surprise me, but fuck, man,
It doesn't look good.
it looks bad.
I think it was
What
fun.
accent is Tom Hardy doing in that movie?
Brooklynese.
It's not. Brooklyn people, New York people don't sound like that. Also,
You don't know.
it takes place in San Francisco.
Oh, well then San Franciscanese.
Definitely not.
How do you know?
I lived there.
No, you didn't.
I did live in Brooklyn. Well, I lived near Brooklyn, in the same state
When?
when I was young.
Mm-hmm, exactly. You fucking fraud.
4-ish.
You phony.
Wow.
What a fraud.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I saw one picture of this.
I love Shazam.
Yeah, the real Captain Marvel.
So EW did Entertainment Weekly did a big cover.
Man,
To debut
kind
all
of
stuff.
fuck Brie Larson though.
Why is that?
Don't mind if I do.
I mean-
yeah, but ha ha ha.
True story.
Like, did you see what happened before the pictures came out?
Yeah, but ha ha ha. What?
Like the day before all this came
No,
out.
I did not.
So she tweeted at EW. She was like, "Let's break the internet tomorrow," and everyone was like, "Fuck yeah, trailer time!" And it was 10 pictures. I mean, nah, dude,
Really?
it was kind of real shitty.
No, it wasn't at all.
It was a little
She was
overhyped.
excited about it. About
A little
the
overhyped
first time
for 10 fucking
anyone's
pictures.
ever seen her as Captain Marvel in a legit way that they're supposed to, and not in some shitty paparazzi photo.
Why can't she be excited
Yeah.
about her role?
If I had seen that, or Evan had seen that and shared that tweet with you, what would your immediate thought?
I would have hoped, but I wouldn't have said she was shitty for saying that
I'm not
because
saying
it wasn't
she was
a
like,
trailer.
haha, fuck these guys, but I'm saying
I mean,
it was
I don't think you
definitely a
are.
case of overselling the promise.
Nah. Plus, she's
Eh.
super hot, so I'm on her side. What?
He's not wrong, I
She's a
guess.
Looking lady.
Jesus. Either way, this looks cool. We get to see our first look at Skrulls in the MCU, which are one of the bigger villains in the Marvel Universe for sure. That also lends even more credence to the idea of Secret Invasion being a situation that happens in the MCU, which would be pretty fucking insane and an awesome way to retire some characters, some actors that maybe are at the end of their contracts.
Sure.
Yeah, you see young non-eye patch Nick Fury.
I didn't look at the pictures, so I don't know. But I mean, he told me that there was a new Shazam costume thing, and then I went looking for that instead.
All right. Anyway, Captain Marvel looks awesome. I'm really super excited for that movie. She's also been confirmed to be the most powerful character in the MCU by Kevin Feige. So I think there's going to be some crazy shit going on in that movie.
That's fair. I don't know how I feel about a character coming in this late in the game that is the most powerful character.
My assumption is that whatever happens at the end of this Captain Marvel movie will, because it's set in the 90s, will clearly explain like where she has been. I'm assuming off fighting shit in space somewhere.
I don't know. To me, it's just like, I don't know.
You got to move forward somehow.
Why didn't he use that pager any of the other 50 times they looked like everything was going to shit?
Because he didn't need to. Clearly, they were still there fighting.
He wasn't disappearing into ash.
Yeah, so pretty extraordinary circumstances.
By the way, Ant-Man, what happens is that I really hope that Luis just comes up and finds him and just like, hey, Scott, listen. He's like, oh, Luis, thank God, get me out of here. He's like, yeah, but I got to tell you the story. And then he just
see what happened was.
Does the entire Infinity War plot?
Yeah, and then I was like talking to Thanos, and he's like, ah, snap. And then
that would be pretty awesome.
You did that entire bit so that you could do aw snap.
No, I swear to God. Chocolate, not dog food. Swear.
You fucking see, you just proved yourself wrong. You're a liar.
No, I didn't.
You got dog food.
I did that to get under your skin. It's super easy. It's one of my favorite things.
Not as easy as figuring out a way to say that the end of the show is here. And we'll see you guys next time, or for episode 3. I'm still learning how to host. Have a good evening.
See ya.
Man, that was worse than Josh.
Hello? What's happening? Evan just said that was bad.
Yeah, it was. That is correct. I guess we need to stop Facebook if he's doing that.
I kind of, because Evan is watching, want to just leave it running. It could be
anyways, that's fine.
Just like a repeat of last year in which everybody but me is gone and I just sit there on the couch silently while Evan's watching me. Oh, man.
Oh, man, it's so fucking hot in here. It's ridiculous.
It's not hot.
Not
Coors Light tastes like wet dog's foot.
That's an accurate description. Man, I'm losing my voice.
Like, spiritually speaking, like
yeah.
your voice, your
clearly
pulse,
that's what I mean.
Your finger on the pulse, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm very spiritual, as you know.
Evan's really excited about Awkward Josh.
He should be. That shit was pretty funny.
I don't know if I remembered if the camera was even on at that time. All I know is I can lean real far back with this super sweet high-backed chair.
God damn, dude. Vine, that was a Josh-ass move.
I didn't see anybody say anything about no high-back chairs.
I mean, multiple times something was said.
That's not true.
It totally is true. I fucking remember it.
Oh, you. Fuck. I smelled that immediately.
I had so much chili today. Like, so much.
How's that liver?
It's fatty.
Oh, yeah. If I ever went to the doctor, they would quarantine me. They would just be like, dude, what the fuck? Start binging and purging.
Yeah? Is that your new plan?
Yeah, gotta do something. Can't stop eating. Like it too much.
I do enjoy eating. That's fair.
If you had to give up one or the other, smell or taste, which would it be?
I mean, I've already more or less given up smell, so taste. I mean, so smell, not taste.
I'd give up taste.
What?
I think it would help me curb my appetite.
Well, yeah.
Plus, you got smell. Smell is essentially the same as taste.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
You're no fucking scientist.
That is true, but I am a zoologist.
No, you're not. You're definitely no zoologist. This is gonna take forever, isn't it?
Oh, Chuck walking the dog?
Yeah.
Entirely possible. No, Evan, you're doing it right. That's pretty much how everybody watches / listens to this podcast.
Did anybody watch Insatiable? What is that?
No, fuck that show.
I'm picking that up here.
I'm gonna be one of those dumb people who's offended and bothered by it. It's the
What is it?
Netflix show where the fat girl gets skinny and becomes a psychopathic murderer. It got some controversy around the fat shamingness of it.
I remember that. It's got the chick from the Disney Channel in it.
Yeah, she lights somebody on fire.
Okay. I remember that now.
Oh, Chuck watched it apparently.
Oh, okay.
And Evan did. Evan, care to share your thoughts on the fat shaming movie? Show? I don't know if you know this, but he's fucking with Keeper Cut, so...
What did he say?
Cut. Oh, that's right. He sent... sorry, spoilers for nobody watching. But
Correct.
he did send his Keeper Cut to Chuck. I forgot
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
He's not here. He doesn't get to participate.
I agree. I already said that. When this plays back for people watching later, it totally shows when certain comments were placed, right?
Yes, it doesn't look like you're talking to yourself.
Cool. When this plays back for people,
Doesn't look like you're talking.
I want to be playing Spider-Man.
So I got this new thing called an inspired card.
What?
It's
Did you join a cult?
No, it's a fucking debit card. But it basically links to your current debit card, and you use it. It's a MasterCard,
Mm-hmm.
and every time you use it, they've basically struck a deal with MasterCard, and they get 10 cents of every 2% transaction fee that retailers have to pay. They get 10 cents of that. They donate 5 of it to charities to help with music programs and underprivileged schools.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 5, I guess, they use to grow the business. But either way, it doesn't cost you anything. You just have to set it up, and you just use it instead of your debit card. And then literally every time you use it, they make that donation.
I've thought about looking into that Acorns thing. Have you seen that?
Some kind of financial thing, right?
Yeah, it's
I've never looked
basically
into it though.
it's it takes the excess change on your debit card purchases
Oh,
and
it puts it into a savings
invests it
account.
in a portfolio for you.
Oh, okay,
It actually, it invests it in an actual portfolio instead of just
that's cool.
savings.
401k style, like a
Yeah.
mutual fund or something. Let's really jazz up Facebook here. Let's talk about mutual funds.
Oh, I am not ready for retirement, by the way, at all.
That is the least surprising fucking thing
You think I got a
could
401k?
ever say.
Fuck no. I'm gonna be working until I'm dead.
Yeah, that's correct. I will see you at Walmart where you'll greet me.
No, I can't do it. I'll just end it.
That was a Josh ass thing to say. No, that would be good. I wouldn't mind to do that either, to be honest. But hopefully, in the next couple of months, I'll start putting a bunch back in savings anyway.
No, I don't know if they were in the news recently, Evan. I've just heard them advertising on podcasts and TV shows lately.
I'm assuming you have interest in my washer and dryer. Right, to be getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Probably in a couple weeks.
Wow, already?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would
Not
probably
positive, but I'm 90% sure.
It would most likely be cheaper to do. I mean, it would definitely be cheaper to do that, but better to do that than to pay Sears to come out and look at mine. Mine are newer, for sure.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you got that. Mine work fine. We just want something newer with more features and stuff.
I just need to be able to put dirty shit in.
Yeah.
And take not dirty shit out.
3 loads a week, brother. We work that thing.
God, I would really love having that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Oh, what, you want money for it now?
You do have to figure out a way to get it out of my house.
You stole that from Thomas outright.
I didn't steal shit, motherfucker. I didn't steal shit.
You know how sad I am that we left that Ion kit in his garage?
Yeah, you should be. You should be.
That thing was awesome.
That wasn't a good call.
I don't remember why he did it. Because I just thought we were never going to play it in the new apartment.
Yeah. And to be fair, we may not have, but that still would have been good to hang on to. That's another thing I want to get in the next year, is a set of electric drums. I don't know if they'd work with a Rock Band. But...
yeah, you can totally get ones. Like, you can get an adapter, basically, to plug them into a system. Most, like... This is where my life lives, but most, like, YouTube, like, Rock Band drummers and stuff, they're using actual, like, MIDI sets.
Wait, what?
They're using, like, actual, like...
No. First part. Who are they?
Rock Band YouTubers.
Like...
There are people who, like, post, like, full combo videos, like, playing songs fully, crazy hard drums and shit.
That is crazy.
It's super entertaining to me. I love watching people, like, who are super talented at shit.
Fascinating. Granted, we're going to talk about follow this show here in a minute, and some of that shit, I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Dude, I watch more YouTube than I do TV. If we could have a fourth show about YouTube,
oh my
I
God,
would dominate that shit.
That shit sounds fucking awful. I can't do it.
Chuck is walking Max 2.0, which is exactly what he smelled like when we walked in today.
It was not good.
It was real bad.
Also, I wish you would come back, because we're real fucking close to the end of this
I know,
thing.
we are, like, in the home
and
stretch.
I'm sleepy.
I'm not
and
tired.
I have Spider-Man to play. Yeah, I'm going to try to play at least another hour or two of Spider-Man when I get home, but I may not make it. I may just go to sleep and get up early, as I'm wont to do these days.
I don't know what euphemism Max 2.0 is, but no.
Oh, shit.
I watch a fuck ton of YouTube. I may have listened to roughly 12 hours of Game Grumps episodes in about 2 days.
That's ridiculous, dude.
It's easy to throw on and just get lost in playing like Dead Cells and shit. Needed a second glass, huh?
Yeah, I didn't want to walk all the way down here and then walk all the way back up.
Why does Doug smell so
Is
bad
Kristen
today?
He just got washed.
joining us for this?
Nope.
All right, then. Been abandoned by everyone.
Yeah, Girl was supposed to be here for the next movie TV show said fuck off already.
Maybe. And if she said anything, it would be those exact words.
Is it really a maybe? Like,
no, she'll come. Okay. But she would tell us to fuck off and then probably call us pussies.
All right,
like
then.
Evan when we talk about Goldberg.
Yeah, you idiot. Not you, Evan.
I mean.
6'1".
I haven't done Indiana.
Thanks for proving my point.
TV! Let's talk about it.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Free For All, your source for all things geek. I keep really wanting to say podcast. I'm your host, Trey Elliott. Joining me, as always, Josh Barnett.
Hey!
Chuck Nally.
Yo!
And the absent several special guests that we were supposed to have this evening. But it's okay. It's the 3 For All podcast.
Correct.
Evan's off being pregnant.
It's a really mean way to just call him fat, but you know.
Well, you know.
It is what it is. Yeah, he's got a baby in there. Sure, that's what it is.
Spade's a spade.
He's pretty pregnant with, Arby's.
that bacon, beef, and cheddar's due any day now.
Man, you would get pregnant so much.
That is correct.
And you would eat your
I would
children.
constantly be knocked up.
Oh my god.
Constantly knocked up, the Trey Elliott story.
I mean, if you get knocked up by Arby's, yeah.
Would it wear that cowboy hat? Keep the hat on, baby.
Oh man! All right,
Let's make tonight special.
let's talk about
Horsey sauce.
some
Oh, no,
returning
spicy.
shows.
Let's do it.
A returning show.
Go on.
The only one we have to talk about that is, we just have an episode I think in for everybody. Ozark on Netflix.
Tell me about
The
it.
Jason Bateman joint. That
Kinda
shit is
tell me
cripplingly.
about it too.
Oh, did you guys not watch
I got
it?
about a third of the way through the episode. And fell
I
asleep.
never watched the first season. So.
Oh, okay, for some reason I was thinking you did.
First
Man, that
season's
show's
great,
good.
and the bit I watched of this episode was also really good. But yeah, I did not get a chance to watch it.
I've watched the first two. Definitely picks up where last season left off, both in terms of story and, like I said a minute
Craziness.
ago, just man, Marty Bird cannot catch a fucking break. Every minute of that show is just watching that man downward spiral into what has to inevitably be that him dying. There's no way that show does not end with his
Oh, yeah,
death.
there's 0% chance. Everybody in that family is dead. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the last thing I saw. I think the last thing I saw is when that little redneck girl showed up as his wife was blowing up the hearse, and they had that conversation. She wanted to make more money, basically. Or
Yeah.
become a partner.
Um,
That's the last thing I saw.
Yeah, her that same girl's, and I forget the character's name, but her dad gets out of jail in the first episode.
Mhm.
So he's he was technically a character in the first season, but is much more of a character so far in the first two episodes of season 2. It's basically now that they killed that dude, blew his head off with a shotgun, the cartel
Out
guy.
of nowhere.
Man, it was indeed out of nowhere. That show's good at doing that. But anyways, basically it's them trying to figure out what to do after they've killed him, still deal with the cartel, set up money laundering. They're trying to basically build a casino. It's kind of the focus of this season.
Yeah, I liked the
Some crazy shit goes down, man.
I liked the kind of logistics of talking about hey, you drive to Chicago with his car, dump it there.
Yeah.
Make sure that you check your messages. I left him a bunch, so it pings off the towers and everything else. I kind of liked that whole conversation going on. I mean, I plan on definitely finishing it.
Yeah,
Still
it's-
hate his daughter. Still hate his son.
Oh man, I love the kids, particularly the daughter.
She shouldn't have taken that money. That's gonna be a problem.
Oh, of course it is.
Definitely gonna be a problem.
Everything's gonna be a problem, man.
It's the Ozarks.
Everything all the time.
Do you guys
It
know where
is
the
just-
Ozarks are?
Missouri?
Missouri, first of all.
I apologize to all
That's
the
part of it.
Missourians
It's
listening.
actually 4 states: Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas.
I believe Missouri is where this. I'm sorry,
Yes.
Missouri is where this takes place.
That's called applied learning, Trey. I'm proud of you.
Hooked on fun, it's working for me. Ozark is really good. I'm excited for it to come back. I did finish. I wanted to knock out Jack Ryan before I.
Nobody
Ozark.
fucking knocks out Jack Ryan, buddy.
Turns out we'll talk about that later.
One guy came real damn close.
Moving on to premieres for new shows. And you have Evan's keep or cut, right?
I
Chad?
do.
If you want to pull that up.
I do.
First one on the list.
I'm not gonna dick him over like last year too, and just
Ignore it.
Ignore
yeah.
it.
I know I made him really mad.
It really, really did.
That's one of my better moments in history.
Disenchantment. Let Chuck start on this one, considering.
Okay, so Disenchantment is the third series from Matt Groening, who is, of course, most well known for The Simpsons, less well known for Futurama, but people still fucking love that show.
I like
They
it
do.
more than The Simpsons.
Yeah,
Personally.
that is a blasphemous statement. Anywho,
Either way, two great shows.
two great shows. Disenchantment is a take, essentially, in a medieval setting. Revolves
It's Game of
around
Thrones.
Princess Bean, who her family is trying to get married to unite some counties. She runs off. She finds this elf dude named Elfo and her own personal demon named Lucy. I really, really like this show.
I liked the first episode. I didn't laugh as much as I was expecting to. Did you finish it all?
I have not finished it, but I'm through 8 episodes. 8 or
Oh
9.
wow! So you've watched a lot of it.
Yeah, I only
Yeah.
watched the 1st
I'll finish
one.
it for sure.
Same here.
I mean, I'm probably gonna finish
How many
it.
episodes is it?
I don't know.
All right then.
It's Netflix, so 13ish probably.
I assumed
Roughly
10 or 13, but I wasn't sure.
3 or 4 episodes, slightly too long, probably.
Depends on the show, but yeah.
You're right. It's not a Marvel property, so maybe not.
I didn't love this show. I definitely didn't hate it. Like, I don't think it's going to be up for worst show or anything like that. It's
10.
just okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I didn't laugh a lot at all, and I definitely will probably watch at least 1 or 2, especially because they're short, 1 or 2 more episodes,
Yeah.
just to make sure. But as of right now, it's a cut for me.
To me, like this isn't. There are certain things that are like laugh out loud funny. A lot of the signs in the villages are just fucking great. Or just Elfo in general. I love him.
Elfo is my favorite character on the show.
Same here.
Bean is my
he's
least
pretty
favorite character, but to me it feels like
Does anyone
all
flick
the
her at any
jokes-
point?
Flicker.
Flick the bean.
Oh,
I just really wanted someone to like come up to her in the
Got
show and be like, and then just walk off.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens all the time and we just have never noticed. But there's not a whole lot of laugh out loud moments in this, but there are also never any like jokes that they tell that are grown worthy either. It's not like, oh God.
Yeah, like who wrote
Fuck.
that?
But it's still to me an enjoyable show to watch. Maybe not the funniest thing in the world. It's like a King of the Hill. Like King of the Hill wasn't laugh out loud funny all the time, but it had 2 or 3 moments a show that
That's
was
fair.
laugh out loud funny, and the characters were enjoyable, and the stories were all good. So that's
do
what
like King of the Hill.
yeah.
I never did.
But I mean, it wasn't like you were just like unless
That's fair.
Boomhauer was on there, and then you're like and then the more he did, he was like
And then some guy played drums to it, and it was fucking magical. Don't
pretty
forget to look
great.
that up.
So I like it. I'm gonna keep it. Evan says. Hang on.
Where are you at on it, Josh?
I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I'm definitely lower. My favorite part was in the first episode, at least, was Elfo like happily and mindlessly like making his way through a giant and gnome battle.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that was awesome.
Was pretty funny. The rest of the show was okay, but I mean,
You didn't like it when
hopefully-
she was like, "I'm drowning." Oh, I'm Elfo. It just like turns around and walks off.
Now, although the villagers who were really angry at him for being happy all the time and
Yeah.
chased him off, I kind of like
oh
that as
yeah,
well.
they were like just upset that he kept thanking them or whatever.
No, they were trying to be humble.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
yeah,
was
that's
he
right.
shouldn't be humble. This is great.
They humbled him right out of the house. That was
Yeah.
funny. There's
That
a lot
was
of
funny.
moments
That was
like
probably
that.
my favorite bit of that first
Evan
episode.
says disenchantment is a cut.
All right. He probably hates it and probably would be cussing you out if he was here.
His exact words currently are, "I get why people would like this show, but I hated it."
Fair enough.
That's really funny considering one of the shows that we're going to talk about that he likes.
Let's
Go
first
on.
talk about a show I will get through real quick. The Innocents. So this show is like next level fucking boring. I almost couldn't finish the first episode. I will say this. The premise of the show has something to do with shape shifting. Like
Maybe.
clearly, this like dude comes after this young couple who's basically running away from their parents.
As
the-
young couples are wont to do.
yeah, the boy's dad clearly has like some sort of like dementia or something, and they have to take care of him. The
Oh.
girl's dad like is trying to basically get them to move away. Anyways, this guy like comes and tries to kidnap them. They knock him out. She goes back to check on him later. And then this is like at the very end of the episode. And basically when she like goes to check on him, he grabs her, and then you see him go back to the hotel where they're staying. And it turns out when like you see him in the mirror, it's actually the girl, and like somehow he's become her, or she's become him, or some shit like that.
Is it physical shape shifting or is
Yes.
it like a
It seems
mental
to
kind
be.
of thing?
It seems to be a physical. Like at one point, the guy physically changes into another woman. Like you see the animation happen on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
As for
right.
why, or like clearly, she thinks her mom is dead. Clearly, her mom is like either with these people or has something to do with these people. They probably said, and I wasn't paying attention because it was incredibly hard to pay attention to this boring ass show.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
I mean, there was the bit at the end where like the guy's like wrestling with the younger kid, and they like look in the mirror and he realizes he's actually wrestling with his girlfriend. Like was like a ooh, like that's kind of interesting sort of moment, but not enough to make up for the 40 fucking minutes before it, man. It was.
How's Guy Pearce?
He's in it in the first episode for like maybe 5 minutes. He's clearly seems to be like the mastermind of whatever the fuck's happening, whatever weird like science experiments.
He doesn't
going on.
announce that he's secretly the Mandarin in this show, does he?
I mean, one could only hope.
God damn it! What a stupid fucking thing.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Anyway, Evan says cut this one.
He also said they legit physically shapeshift, and the person they turn into goes unconscious.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I probably won't watch this.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's not good. I will not.
The
be
trailer
watching
looked
more of it.
interesting.
It's definitely cut for me.
I kind of glazed over when you were talking about it. I'll be honest with you.
I had trouble remembering it.
Like a Krispy Kreme donut.
Here's one we can all talk about. Paradise PD. I'm assuming
Man.
this is what Chuck was referring to earlier.
Man, I don't get it.
I don't get it either, man. I think this is a strong cut from everybody.
This is one of the worst television shows I've ever seen in my life. Like, Evan saying that he hated Disenchantment and really liking the show seems just
Insane.
like he's touched. Like I legit want to call his doctor and get him
By
checked
an angel?
out, if he's lucky. Like, it's awful.
Probably a Catholic priest.
This thing is just filled with stereotypes and none of them are funny.
Update. He's watching it right now, apparently.
Okay, good for you. Somebody's got to. That's going to get canceled not soon enough.
Oh, man, I have a feeling it won't.
No, I will bet money that it gets canceled.
I haven't heard anybody talking about it other than the four of us.
Big Mouth's kind of the same way. I don't hear anybody talking about Big Mouth either, but that show got a second season and
Big
is
Mouth is so
wonderful.
good, though. This show
and I'm not
sucks, man.
comparing the two by any means, but
It is. I can't tell
The
you.
dad character is fucking awful.
He's terrible.
Like, the
dog is the fucking worst.
that is correct.
He is the worst.
It's bad. I laughed one time in the first episode, which is all I was able to get through, and that's when they shoot that fat dude and he sneezes and all the bullets pop out of him. I laughed pretty hard, but it was the only time.
Yeah,
like,
I
was
didn't-
the rest of the time I was literally like, oh man.
the
this
female
is-
cop who's basically like hard up for like stopping crime or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, she just like gets aroused by, like, I don't know. I just yeah, man.
Awful. Yes.
HoboCop kind of got me for like half a minute.
Nope.
No, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I mean, the premise was funny, but the execution mostly on those jokes is what gets me.
This is Brickleberry. This is literally the same thing as Brickleberry, only it doesn't
what was
at
that
least
Texas
have
show?
Daniel Tosh.
What was that Texas cartoon show that everybody hated? That was
Oh,
Seth MacFarlane.
Border Town.
That's it. This Border Town is fucking an Oscar winner compared to this.
I
And
never
it's a
watched
TV
Border
show.
Town, but
It's a TV show.
Paradise PZ sucks.
I couldn't
It's
watch Border
awful.
Town. The animation was way too ugly.
That checks out.
Man,
so
you're gonna hate West of Loathing then. It's just it's almost like fucking stick figures.
Whatever. You get stupid walking in it.
That gets old real quick, by the way.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
I've watched a lot of it.
Paradise,
Evan is stupid for liking that show. Cut.
Yeah.
Hard cut.
cut from everyone here.
Cut.
Keep for Evan for whatever reason.
God. It's so mind-boggling.
Who watched Making It?
I did.
Oh, cool. I didn't know if all three of us did or not. Talking about it.
This is an interesting. I like
You want to give
competition
the
shows.
premise?
Yeah, so this is Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman, the duo from Parks and Rec, and Nick Offerman is obviously quite the woodworker. Amy Poehler is not, but she's cute and funny, and they're basically doing a reality competition show for crafting.
I get. I do legitimately get invested in competition.
Oh shit! I watched
shows.
the wrong show.
What did you watch?
Shit! I watched that fucking dumbass Netflix documentary show.
Follow this?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to talk about that too.
Oh, okay. Fuck.
Yeah, Making It like so. This
So
is
you did
not
not
the
watch
kind-
Making It?
No, I wanted to real bad. Is it good?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's not
If
bad.
you like that type
I
of
like
show.
their dynamic.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
the kind of like crafting that I was expecting it to be. It's definitely more wide berth, which I kind of like a lot.
Yeah,
but I was expecting it to be
more
so,
woodworking.
Like my favorite competition show of all time is Ink Master. I'm really pissed I haven't been able to watch like the last 3 seasons, but they took it off Hulu. But basically, like they have people who specialize in specific type of tattooing in that show. But every week there is a type of tattooing you do, so you have to go outside of your comfort zone.
Right.
The thing that I don't love about Making It, there's one thing that I don't like a lot that we'll talk about in a second, but like the thing I don't love about it is they let people do their style, so far at least, on everything.
And I've only watched one episode, so I don't know if that.
I've only watched one as well,
Okay.
but like
what's this on Hulu?
it is on Hulu. It's
Okay.
a NBC show. I
Yeah,
think.
it's NBC.
Which obviously makes sense for Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like if they were like, today's the papercraft episode, so all you people who are woodworkers or all you people who do, junk crafting and stuff like that, you've got to actually figure out how to work paper crafting.
Yeah, I can see that getting into some trouble when they did get into like something like woodworking, where you're having to like have experience with like
Use machinery
saws
and
or
things like
certain
that.
like tools.
I guess, yeah. It's just it's
not like
interesting
it's-
because I like seeing people outside of their element. So like,
Yeah.
some of the best episodes of like Ink Master are when they get somebody who is completely a new school artist. He doesn't do black and gray. He doesn't do realistic portraits and shit, and they crush at something that you never would have expected him to.
Yeah.
And it creates cool high drama, and it's really kind of what gets me behind certain people. I also don't love the amount they play up Amy Poehler not knowing anything about what's going on.
I can see them slowly easing off that as it goes. I like this. This had the same, because of the hosts, has the same feel to me as like it's the same level of comfort food type show as something like the Great British Bake Off.
I mean, it's
And that
definitely
it's like-
an enjoyable watch.
It's a good Saturday afternoon. I don't want to think. I just want to like kind of chill on the couch for a couple hours and be entertained.
I like the woodworking guy.
Yeah.
The Asian guy, he's probably my favorite. Although the guy who did the shadow box was actually, I really like him.
Yeah, there's some cool creativity on that show, and it is a very paint by numbers.
Poor Mama Jean got kicked right the fuck off.
Yeah, well, she should have done better.
Poor Southern Georgia grandmother. Like,
Evan
Pretty much.
didn't watch the show, so he's
did
not
not.
gonna
Okay.
keep or cut.
This is a keep for me. I will watch more of the show. I
I
don't know
will
if I'll finish
probably
it,
check
but
out
I'm
another episode or two. Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it like proactively.
all
I
right.
haven't seen it. I'm gonna watch it because I love those two people.
Kristen
I'll-
would also. Me
I
and
like wood.
Brittany watched
I
together.
So like,
I like working.
I won't spoil how it goes, but one of the like commercial break segments was they blindfolded Nick Offerman and had him smell wood to determine what type of wood it was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what happened.
No, spoilers.
All sorts of shenanigans.
Don't fucking Tory on me.
He ate the wood.
Oh shit!
He got real confused.
Whole. He just not. He took one bite out of it and swallowed.
He said Chuck's like wood. Chuck likes wood.
I do.
Yeah, man.
Long time.
Next,
Next up is another one. I think only I watched $1.
I did not get a chance to watch this. Evan
Um,
did though.
you guys kept
Are
talking
you
about
guys?
$1.
Are you guys going to watch
What
this?
is it?
So
Tell me
is-
about
It
it.
is the new CBS All Access original show.
I mean, I might give it a shot. I'm paying for it.
Yeah, it is really good.
Oh yeah. I've seen a bunch of previous
it
videos.
has-
Oh, dude.
It very much has a kind of a Secrets and Lies sort of feel. I don't let that spoil it for you, Josh. Just in that, like, it is very clearly this like ordinary guy who's kind of getting mixed up in some shit that he shouldn't, and they present a bunch of stuff to you that then like they don't really give answers for, and it kind of jumps around in time a little bit. But the big thing is there's been a pretty grisly murder, and the skinny DA guy from Billions that replaces Chuck, the kind of douchey.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
That
of his
guy's the
character's
chief of
name.
police.
Okay. I mean, I like that dude.
Yeah, I don't know anyone else in the show, but it's really well acted. It's well made. I mean, it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be like in my top 10, but it's a solid story and really good acting. Like, I'm legit excited to see what happens on the
What's
next
the
episode.
$1 about?
So
They're trying to get it into a vending machine. It won't go. They just murder people.
That's how much they're paying to.
Thanks.
Like,
Now you
as a
spoiled the whole
reward.
fucking show for me, Chuck. Thanks. No, there's been $1 that's like been passed around a couple times that clearly has like 4 numbers written on it.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming it has something to do with this mystery, but not sure what yet.
Okay.
But it's like been, someone pays with it, and then someone else gets it as change, and
Evan said it's okay.
so on and so forth. I
Yep.
liked it quite a bit. It is not like holy shit, change your life type thing, but it is a really solid show.
Nope.
And considering I was expecting to dislike it, I think I was more surprised than anything that it was really solid.
Evan says he's going to keep it, but it's a short leash.
Fair enough. I'm a pretty strong keep. I mean, it could obviously turn. I've only seen one episode, but as of right now, I have a sense I'm gonna keep that one for good.
Word.
Next up, Chuck watched this one apparently. Follow This,
I did watch this.
which I finished.
What
You
is
finished
this?
the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched all of them.
Documentary show about? Is it like influencers?
This is a this is a docuseries done by
Nailed it.
BuzzFeed.
Hmm.
I mean, BuzzFeed does some good work. They also do a lot of internet surveys, but they do some good work. They're basically 18-ish minute long short documentaries.
Evan's frustration with you is amazing. He's like, he just said, "Following the dollar is how you track the mystery." It's literally the premise of the show.
Fuck you, Evan. We're gonna have to just like mute Evan or some shit.
Well,
I can't have
wouldn't
somebody
say-
like internet critiquing
I
me.
wouldn't like do a play-by-play of what Evan says every single time.
Sorry, I guess, yeah.
Josh, on the other hand,
I'm trying to keep him
Turns
engaged.
out
He's our one steady listener right now, in terms of watching
he's
live.
gonna be every week.
He could be playing Spider-Man right now, but he's not.
he's doing both.
He's watching
watching
Paradise
PD. A
Gosh
bigger
damn it.
mistake.
That makes you really wish he would be playing Spider-Man because
Yeah, it's
it'd be a much better
You
use of
can
his
stop
time.
watching now, Evan.
No, but there's the first episode is about ASMR, which is basically videos with whispering and other odd noises that, for a certain percentage of the population, basically triggers your brain in such a way that you have like something akin to like sexual arousal. It's not technically sexual, but you get tingly and it's like people call it a head orgasm sometimes.
Yeah, it's supposed to get your like synapses popping.
Yeah. Supposedly it works really well if you have on headphones. I did not try that yet. I definitely don't get it from anything I watched during this episode. But it was interesting. Like she goes to a thing that's like a live ASMR thing where they do everything in person instead of doing it obviously through a YouTube video.
I can't,
That
I
shit
don't,
was hard to watch.
Man, I don't get like straight up ASMR. I missed the first part where you said that that's what they was focusing on.
Yeah.
I've tried to like.
and it's definitely a
I
thing
watched
that
a lot of fucking YouTube. I tried to watch some ASMR shit.
your brain either, from what I understand, it either works for you or it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not a thing you can learn. It's not an acquired skill or like whatever. It's just it either works for you or it doesn't. But my understanding is to try it with headphones or you just don't know. But there's ones on Black survivalists. There's one on intersex people, which was pretty interesting. I didn't know much about. There's
say
one about
intersex
incels,
people.
like people literally born with both genitalia.
I thought you meant like people,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I thought you meant people who have the intersect in them.
No, that's a totally
Weren't those
different
people
series.
just called hermaphrodites?
Yes,
They used to be, but I'm sure it's a new term now.
Oh,
it is a new term now.
I mean,
stupid.
Things evolve, Chuck.
No.
Things become more welcoming.
Back in my day, we called them hermaphrodites.
I also called a lot of other things a lot of really bad things.
One of the coolest ones is the last one. It's basically they figure out facial recognition to the point where you can basically capture someone's voice and their likeness in such a real way that you can make it look like Jordan Peele had a thing recently where he did an Obama impression, but they put that over a digital video of like Obama. They manipulated so his mouth looked like he was saying what Jordan Peele was saying, and he was making Obama say like all sorts of crazy shit. And you could not have fucking told the difference if you didn't know. I mean, it's terrifying. And then they basically do it with Trump in this.
Interesting.
And it's a little scary that like someone
Awesome.
could basically go
That
out
should
there
be
and,
made
like,
illegal
declare war.
immediately.
Yeah, no, that's terrifying.
it is real terrifying. And they make it
That's
seem
a
very
fucking
terrifying.
episode of Black Mirror right there.
Basically. But it's super interesting. If they were 30-minute or hour episodes, I'd probably be out. But they're like these short little quick 15, 18-minute things, and it's almost all very interesting topics.
I didn't like it. I didn't
Um,
like the way it was told. I didn't like the subject matter on the two that I saw.
Documentary
didn't
What
like
did you
it.
watch
stuff.
besides, or what's
The Black Survivalists
Okay. Black Survivalist was definitely one of my least favorites.
and the
Just not super
ASMR.
interesting
I didn't get it at all. I didn't like the particular person. I didn't like how it was presented.
The ASMR
Um,
stuff almost
it just-
sounds.
This is a definite cut for me.
It almost
Obviously
sounds
keep
like
for me.
that documentary Tickled or whatever that
Man.
I really want to see.
Tickled is crazy.
You watched it?
Oh my god.
I heard that documentary is fucked up.
I heard
It
it's
is.
the craziest fucking
Oh,
thing.
it's a shame because
Don't they
like
go down like doesn't he go in like a dark spiral of being like threatened by those people?
Dude.
I don't see how
hardcore?
you could possibly watch
I don't
this.
think I could, but I want to.
oh man.
If you watch this and you don't watch Glow, I'm gonna fucking
that
tickle
shit's
you.
weird, man. That shit
Exactly.
is weird.
Promise. No, don't. Don't. Away.
Chuck, tell me about Insatiable, I guess you watched.
Yeah.
I think you're
Insatiable.
doing one on this one.
Oh, Evan
Evan did
says
too.
he's keeping. Follow this. He's gonna keep.
Okay.
And Evan did watch Insatiable.
Evan did watch Insatiable. God.
It's like we have Evan here, basically, living through Josh.
You said you thought it was the only one.
Never mind. Continue.
He's making fun of you because you're reading exactly what he's
You were
saying
literally just saying
every time.
All right, yada yada. Oh, so Evan says this.
I did not. I did not tell you that he said certain words that are on there.
Anyway,
Give him my fucking phone.
tell me about Insatiable.
Insatiable is apparently this guy who is like a God damn it, are you serious?
I knew
Just
that was gonna happen.
fucking take it. Just flip it over for 5 minutes, for fuck's sake. Anyway, Insatiable is he's a beauty pageant like guru. And the person that he's like trying to get to win a beauty pageant is just out of control, just stupid. I can't remember exactly what she says to a question, but it's just you feel really bad for this guy.
Right.
And he's been on something before. I can't exactly remember what it was. But then there's this other girl who's like a big fat girl. She gets in an accident where she punches a homeless guy in front of this like QT or Quickie Mart or something, and he beats the shit out of her and like breaks her jaw, and she's in the hospital. When she gets out, she's smoking hot, and she's also very smart. And so he like takes this girl under his wing to go and do beauty pageants.
All right.
It's okay.
It's okay. Is it a keep or a cut?
Nah, it's a cut for me. I ain't got that kind of time.
I might check out an episode, but probably not.
The two leads are engaging enough to I could see where someone would like it. Kristen would probably love this show, but I just ain't got that kind of time.
That's fair. There's a lot of TV right now, and always, and forever. Forever's dead, Josh.
Thank you very much. I knew that was coming.
Last but not least, sorry.
I was gonna say, I mean that show kind of was one of those that fell under like a blanket of controversy for a while. Like before it came out, people got real upset because apparently she goes real crazy later on, or apparently like maybe even in the first episode, but she becomes like incredibly vengeful and like violent, and it's like it kind of feels like a fat shaming thing.
How's so fat shaming?
So I'm not up on the controversy. I just had seen
Okay.
that
About
it was a
Insatiable?
thing.
You just
Yeah.
thought you'd bring it up.
Like, I mean, it's an interesting topic of conversation about the show to me. Like, I have no desire to watch this show.
I didn't
didn't
see
like the
any kind
trailer
of
that I
fat
saw.
shaming. It's actually, to me, it feels a little bit of the opposite.
And that may indeed be the case. That the creator came out and said like that she was a bigger girl growing up and had lost a lot of weight, and so people were completely misconstruing the way the trailer was cut. But the trailer, if you look at it, is definitely cut in a way, maybe not fat shaming, but making fun
Her
of
being
fat.
ashamed
Like, yeah,
of being fat.
in a way, yes.
I can see someone taking that from it.
I would not
thank
be,
God
like,
I'm
if
not
that-
fat anymore.
If that was the direction of the show, I will tell you, I would really be upset.
And obviously I don't know, haven't seen it, but sounds like it was maybe okay, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the chick from the Disney Channel show, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she's a Disney Channel person.
There's a lot of Disney Channel shows, so
And a lot of Disney Channel people on those shows.
There's like 3 or 4.
Last but not least for new shows, let's talk about Kidding.
No Magic for Humans or Jack Ryan?
Those are finished shows.
What were we talking about? Oh, Kidding.
Kidding. This is a
Yeah.
Showtime joint.
Damn it, I wanted to watch this.
You should
Would I not?
totally watch this.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, like it's a little awkward, but not. I think you would like it. Man, it's good. This is Jim Carrey's new show. The first thing he's done in at least a couple of years. It's mainstream, for sure.
Was this like he's the creepy? It seemed like a creepy Mr. Rogers.
No, he's
no.
not creepy.
He's not creepy?
This
He's
is
Mr. Rogers.
and that's what I thought too going in.
He's
but
Mr.
no.
Rogers, but his name is Mr. Pickles.
His name is Mr. Pickles. He is very clearly based off Mr. Rogers. He is
Seems
obviously
a little bit more human to me, though, at least in his personal life, because he's been married and divorced. He's got a problem kid. There was tragedy.
Yeah, he's very clearly, his life is kind of in shambles, while he still obviously has to be this very positive, upbeat role model on the show. But he also does that because it's very clear, at least in the first episode so far, that he truly believes that like that is how you should be. Like it's not some like thing he does just on TV.
Very much. A Mr.
Everyone
Rogers
around
type
him
thing.
clearly is doing it that way, and he's kind of the only true believer in the bunch.
Yeah.
And it's
Including his
Man, it's
producer
good.
and one of the main puppet people
yeah.
who wound up being his dad and his sister. Which is pretty, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because his producer kind of like says no, because he wants to do a full episode on death. And it
Which Mr.
reminded
Rogers
me.
did, I believe.
He did, and he did Divorce, and he did, hanging out with black people in a swimming pool. Like, that was a big deal back then.
Yeah, back then for sure.
And
I kind of wish that was the title of just an actual show.
maybe it was. I don't remember. I don't.
No, I
have
mean
a
like a
VHS.
long running series, like
Oh,
hanging out with black people in a pool. Just
all right.
that's the show.
Whatever.
I know
man.
that's clearly also on Netflix.
It's a 2-hour power block with the Wolf Show on Netflix.
Followed by an 11 p.m. slot. Norm Macdonald has a show.
Yeah, I mean, God, what a 3-hour block.
Yeah.
2.5 probably. Norm Macdonald has.
It's the literal block.
Sure.
Anyway, we've run over Chuck here.
Whatever. Anyway,
Sorry.
so no, I thought it was really cool.
I love it.
There was some good stuff. Like, he wanted to do the show on death, and the producers like, no, we're not going to do that show on death. And then like they kind of go back and forth about it a little bit, and then they have dinner, and you find out it's his dad.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so he finally lets him do the show on death, and he does the show on death, and I thought it was kind of powerful stuff, man. I thought it was really insightful, very tasteful, well done for a public access kid show, and like his dad had zero intention of ever airing it.
Man, like I wish Jim Carrey wasn't just 3 levels of batshit.
Dude.
Like,
Did you
I
guys
like
read that
guy
article I
so
posted in the
much.
group the other day?
No.
Like, I can't remember who it was now. Maybe Hollywood Reporter or something. But anyway, somebody did like a spend a day with him on the set of Kidding. And that dude is bonkers.
Yeah,
I mean, totally.
And the problem is
Totally
he
nuts.
feels like he's the preachy crazy guy.
Oh, he at this
Like,
point
I
he's not a
guarantee-
guy anymore, Josh.
I know.
He doesn't exist.
I know, but what I'm saying
what was that?
is
The Golden Globes that he told that red carpet reporter about that?
It was definitely something along those
But
lines.
he's full on believes it now. That's all he talked about apparently. And
That's what I'm saying is like he doesn't feel like a guy who, okay, that's our friend Jim. He's a little weird, but he's fun to hang out with. He seems like the guy who's like, no, I've got these beliefs, and you're gonna know about it.
yeah, and like I can't bring you to a party because you're just gonna yell at everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
Thanks a
see
lot,
that.
Jenny McCarthy's vagina.
fucking for real. That's what happens
Good
when you don't
Lord.
vaccinate.
You make other people batshit.
And measles.
Right.
that all checks out.
Both are problems. This is an easy keep for me.
Oh, yeah, this is at the 100% keep.
I will
Like,
preemptively
this is a
keep-
show that I think might be in my top 10 at the end of the year.
It's got a very kind
If
of
it stays like this.
the aesthetic is very kind of Barry, you know?
Yeah, it's
But-
kind of
Very
sad all
kinda
the
Barry.
time,
My
but-
favorite cereal.
but also funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
There you
it's just nice to see Jim Carrey back, even if he is crazy.
Dude, I love him as an actor.
It's real nice to see him back and
As a
like
comedian and as an actor. Well, he also did, and he said it's like his first big thing. He did that Showtime show, like that's still coming back. The Dying Up Here.
Oh
that was
yeah,
at least 2
the-
years ago though.
It's, I mean, season 2 I think is still greenlit. It was within the past.
He
2
was in a
years, yeah.
movie this year that bombed like super hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was like
that movie.
a
Apparently,
limited
I thought
release.
It was good, but apparently it sucked. I think it got a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh man.
I'm on it.
But yeah, cool. So that's all the premieres. Let's talk about some finish shows.
Let's.
Which some of them are also premieres.
That's true. Some are both. Let's talk about one of the ones that's not though. And Chuck, tell me about Preacher, which apparently you really liked this season.
It's the best season of Preacher.
Man, that's a shame. I stopped watching
It's
season 2 then.
fucking great, man. There is nothing about this season that I did not love.
It's
Like-
crazy considering how
Can
rough
I
season 2
skip
was.
season 2 and watch it?
Well, that's part of the reason why this one is so great is because they took a lot of things that they just kind of touched on a little bit in season 2 and made them just fucking awesome in season 3. Like the Hitler thing. They made Hitler just so much better, and they waited until it was like episode 8 of 10 when Hitler even came back.
I
And
only
Eugene.
I literally got up to the scene in which you were in Hitler's own personal hell,
Yeah,
and like then everybody got let out.
yeah.
Oh no, they got let out. Then he brought him back into his cell. Right. That is as far as I made it into season 2.
Yeah, it's very muddled. Like season 2 is just an okay season of TV at best. There were some really cool things that they did with it, but overall very disappointing. Season 3, man, it's back. It is back. It is really good. Everything they did with God, Cassidy was fucking great. Jesse was stopped being a bitch. There's this one part where
God.
like they find out because he's in Angelville, right? And that's where he grew up. He was tortured as a little kid, but he was a grifter. He was bringing people to Angelville, and his grandma was actually getting these people and stealing their souls so she can live forever. And so the people who have their souls stolen are kept down in the tombs, which is underneath of Angelville, and then they fight them for money. So two of his brothers, both of them like captured his dad in season 1, and one of them shot him. You find out who they are in this season, they find out that Cassidy's a vampire, and they put him in the tombs. And so Jesse, in order to get him out, it's really funny. He beats the shit out of him. It's a really cool fight. He beats the shit out of him, takes an axe, and chops him into dozens of pieces. And then he stuffs him in a box with like a bunch of packing peanuts. And while they're like, he takes him out, and he opens the casket, and it's like his like hand is like way over here, and he's got a foot over here, and his face is like, "What are you doing? You gotta get me back!" You know, he's like, and his hand all of a sudden just like flips him off, and
That's funny.
He nails him back, and then he goes back to Angelville, and then you hear, "Oh, Danny boy, the pipes.
No wonder you like this season.
And Cassidy is walking down the steps, all stitched up, healed up, ready to go with a cricket bat, and they go at each other, and it is so fucking good, man.
That sounds awesome.
That's just one episode.
All right.
Hair Star is back. Did you guys read the comic?
No.
I haven't read most of it now.
Okay, so they bring in the Allfather, Humperdew, like everything with Genesis is back. Not
Like-
Invisible Touch.
Oh.
Sorry, but the actual voice of
Phil
God.
Collins.
There's like parts of God
If
that
only.
you get to see. Tulip is a badass ass kicker. Like everything about it is
All right.
thumbs up, man.
All right, nice.
Yeah, that makes me want to watch it.
There's
I don't
no
know if I
meat
will,
baby or anything, but it's still really good.
but a season can only have so much.
Man, that Jackie Earle Haley character in general, but that meat baby, what the fuck?
Magic for Humans.
Yeah.
Man, this show is just delightful.
I'm not as high on it as you guys are, but I mean, obviously, I finished it. It just came out like a week ago.
This
so.
is somebody feed filled with magic.
It's joy the show for me. Like I just enjoy the shit out of it.
This is how I feel about Somebody Feed Phil.
Yeah.
I like the subjects that he tackles in each episode.
Every time he talks to kids is the best part.
The marshmallow thing
Yeah.
was hilarious.
That kid, that redheaded kid, like I said,
the kid who cried?
no,
Oh,
not
no,
the,
okay.
the other kid who was just amazed, like he could not. But the kid who cried was precious.
Man, it hurt. I don't get affected by that shit, but it hurt real bad. I was like, man, give that kid a marshmallow.
as ever. Okay, favorite scene,
The invisible guy.
Invisible.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, that was
It was amazing.
the guy who was. I can't decide which is my favorite. The guy who's freaking out, the black dude who was like trying to get away with shit.
No.
The black dude who was trying to steal bottles of wine.
Oh, that bottle's floating. He's like, oh shit.
He was funny because of that, obviously,
But
but
the guy
man,
freaking out was really
the guy
really
freaking
funny.
out was amazing. He was
What?
so.
I'm invisible. They can't hear me either. Oh my god, what's happening?
I mean, kudos to those really actual actors who were supposed to be the audience members.
Yeah.
Probably still Craigslist like followers, but in LA, that's what you get is out of work actors. I also really loved the mom's guilt scene.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah.
Like all the moms and the bacon with the vegan bacon.
Oh, that was
I would have eaten that bacon straight up while
Oh,
holding
hell
the
yeah.
pig, while holding the pig.
I would have asked him if he could go ahead and like prep this one.
Yeah.
I would have tried
I'm
to
with
feed
you on
him
that.
some bacon.
Oh wow, that's
Oh.
like a twice baked potato in
Bacon-fed
pig
bacon?
form.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man.
No,
Even I
That's
knew
how
it.
mad
That
cow
cool.
disease
no,
happens.
no.
Is it really?
I believe
It
they
is.
they
It
are
is.
fed beef.
That's crazy.
Beef fed
Well-
beef.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Mm.
It's weird.
That's also where the phrase "dog eat dog world" came from.
Chuck says no.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
I
bullshit.
believe Chuck.
But yeah, this
I
show
was
is
there when
really
that
cool.
phrase was
Like
created.
Magic
the-
for Susans?
Magic
Magic for Susans is great. I actually really like the opening scene with the cell phone and the like taping it to his back or whatever.
Yeah.
And the
That was
girl
cool.
like, "Don't do this to any more black people."
Yeah, that was funny. Oh, what about the one where he? It was another open where he was fishing for cell phones. He
Yeah,
threw
he
that
threw
bottle
that-
out there and then threw that cell phone and caught it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I can break this out right now." Or you can tell this amazing story about how this up and coming magician put your phone in a bottle. And
the
then
next
she goes,
cut is-
and then the next cut is him.
The dude is he's really charming, right? Which you have to be, in my opinion. Like, not everybody can be fucking Chris Angel, who's just silent and stupid on the street and doing like crazy magic tricks.
He's funny.
Being
He's
a
naturally
showman,
funny.
I really really enjoy it.
It's definitely a twist on this type of like street magic show where he has like a kind of a theme and
Yeah,
like tells a story at times.
and I like. Yeah,
He's
I
good
do
at that.
like the magic robot was really funny. I can't remember what it said every time.
Oh yeah.
But it was really, really funny. I liked some of the stuff where like he didn't even reveal to people the trick, like the virtual reality, where he put people in there and he was like,
yeah.
"It's gonna feel like you're floating," and they actually did levitate.
Yeah.
But he never told them that they actually did.
Also, I will say every single one of these things, whether it's him or David Blaine or Chris Angel or whoever the fuck, he teased it in one episode with the balloon, when he's talking to all the moms.
Oh,
But,
when he
like,
palmed the
yeah.
card.
I want a
to
fucking
know how.
how they do it
I
like
mean,
type show.
That's the code, man.
I don't give a fuck. That one
So-
guy on Fox did it that one time.
People hated him.
I don't
Yeah,
give a
dude,
shit.
he got fucking blacklisted, like straight up.
Who the
Like
fuck
you
cares?
don't break the
Probably
magician's
him after
code.
he was done with that show.
Well, he should do another one about all this other shit.
Like, I know it seems ridiculous, but I get it as well. Like, you don't break the magician's code in a way. Like
Like,
There's
how
like
did he
some
get
things
that
that, like-
ring in that can for Magic for Susans?
That kind of stuff I can see like sleight of hand. It's more like the levitation and stuff where I'm like, I just don't believe that, like, it's hard for me to believe that, like, he's actually doing that. Like, or not actually doing that, but like not just using some sort of camera trick.
camera trick. The one that felt closest to a camera trick for me was his wife coming out of the backpack.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
almost looked a little green screen. Apparently it's not. I actually did a deep dive on this subject.
I was wondering if anybody did. I thought about it, then ended up not.
So there's a
I just want to be
magician's-
like kind of amazed, to be honest with you.
Well,
and just
so
wonder.
what I found was
that's not how
there's
my brain
a
works.
there's a magician's
Thank God.
subreddit basically, but they actually really straight up hold to it. Like if anybody tries to reveal how tricks are done and shit, like they'll ban them immediately, delete the
Gotcha.
post. Like they do really hold to that. But people were in there saying basically, no, I've actually met Justin before. I know him. I've worked with him before. Like what he is doing is not camera tricks. Some of them may be actors and things like that, but it's not camera tricks. It is an actual illusion. Some of it is probably very, very, trial and error, lucky happenstance. Like, oh, I happened to run across these people who wanted a cup of coffee, so I have the coffee in my bag, right? Or whatever I'm doing, that whole
Yeah.
bit. But a lot of it's still definitely a incredibly well practiced illusion and not actual like CG camera trickery.
Gotcha. Or just
Um,
like the camera placement, even, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and part of the illusion for TV magic is that, but this is also like, what was it in Ant-Man? It's up close magic, right? This is what that is.
Yeah.
It's all about diverting attention. Like, if you really watch closely, you can see some of the sleight of hand he does.
Some of the sleight of hand is obvious. Not that I can see exactly how he does it, but I understand that whatever he just did is sleight of hand. But there's just some that aren't that way. Like, I mean, again, levitating somebody is not. There's no sleight of hand there, so.
But like, yeah, I mean, he gave away
probably my only
even just a little
complaint,
bit.
but
Like
it's like a
most
me
of those
problem.
card tricks are you're not actually shuffling the card into the deck, and he showed that when he was doing the balloon trick, right? Like that is like Magic 101. You're
Yeah.
getting people to see you put something somewhere when in reality you're showing them the start of that and moving it, and then doing everything else you need.
Right.
Like But I mean, it's always fascinating. I love Magic. I miss like the David Copperfield specials and shit like that.
It is nice to see a magic show. I will say that. Like, I feel like.
I like the
there's-
funny Magic, relatable Magic.
Yeah.
He just seems like a cool guy to hang out with.
Yeah, I can agree with
There's
all that.
not a
for
ton
sure.
of magicians that are like that.
Definitely not.
Um,
Some of them take it way too serious. The Penn
Fuck
and
you,
Teller-
Copperfield.
But Penn and Teller,
Penn and Teller, yeah.
their show is also fantastic.
Oh,
You
yeah.
ever watched
I
it?
wish they had like a more
Not like the
mainstream.
You're talking about
Sure.
BS?
Yeah, the one where they basically try and get fooled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, fool me?
Yeah, Fool Me. That's the one I was
Yeah.
talking about. I really
I
like-
love
Wasn't
both
there a
of
guy
those
from
guys.
Cleveland, Tennessee that was on that show?
I
It
want to say
was.
yes.
The Asian guy.
The one
Maybe.
that they freaked out about too.
Yeah.
Right? Like he was super good.
There's
yeah.
a sleight of hand guy that's at Mellow Mushroom and several other places in town that does like all sorts of like up close magic that was on America's Got Talent.
Oh really?
Yeah.
From Mellow Mushroom, like local?
I mean, he's from Chattanooga, but he does like magic in like different restaurants
like,
every
goes and
night.
visits
But Mellow
and stuff?
Mushroom is one of the nights of the week that's one of the places he goes. He did like Lane's got a card on his desk where he like wrote his name on it, and then the guy like tore it up and then like spit it out or some shit. It was impressive.
The,
Like, you're like, I don't know how the fuck you did that, man.
The armless speed dating I thought was fucking hilarious.
That was great. That was one of the best bits. I'd forgotten about
Because
that.
he's like, whatever he kept saying is his catchphrase. I think it was just like boom magic or something.
Yeah, boom
like
magic.
That.
Boom magic.
And he was so
That
so
guy's-
sincere with his fucking ridiculous arms, and he looked like he was pinned like duct taped to the wall.
It was really funny too because like when they
Man.
did the split screen where it showed Justin behind the curtain, he's like,
Man, that guy. They couldn't have gotten a better person to be the guy like the face of the whole thing.
yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about.
I'm gonna keep that when it comes back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Since
same
it's
here.
new.
Same
and
here.
Evan says he's gonna keep it too.
Trial and error. Lady killer. Let's talk, Chuck.
Lady Driver.
Lady Driver.
Man, at the end of the show, because we just finished it tonight before you guys got here, and like the new law that was proposed, this just then, finally, women can also be the flag people.
Not that we don't have to have someone in front of all women driving. People with flags screaming "Lady Driver." That's clearly not going anywhere.
No, of course not.
But now ladies can also do it.
That's right.
Ladies supporting other ladies.
Man, okay, so that woman that was driving the tractor that was pulling the moose that died, the way that they angled the camera.
That's a fucking sentence.
The way that they angled the camera, you couldn't see it. And then all of a sudden, boom, Lady Driver in front of the tractor that's going like a half mile an hour.
Oh, man.
It was amazing.
That was just a phenomenal reoccurring bit. My favorite type of bit outside of the pun.
Man, the 2 episodes where what's her name had a condition where she couldn't open her eyes, and
Dude,
it was her eyes were painted on.
it was terrifying.
It was also hilarious.
It
I
was.
couldn't stop laughing every time I saw it. It was so funny.
Her trying to hold in the baby while she did like the last part of the trial.
She refused.
Oh man, that show does stupid humor better than almost any other show I can think of.
I was really hoping that Lithgow would show up in more of a
Yeah.
prominent role or something.
I'm kind of with you, but I did enjoy definitely the shift this season. I know it's probably unlikely, but fuck, I hope that show gets another season.
I mean, they prepped it. All kind. What was it? The 3 people that had to do with the witch trials
Yeah,
of 1994.
man, East Peck is one crazy ass town.
Oh man, the Inky Pecker. You go there for tattoos. You go see Dr.
When
Tats.
during the older witch trials, they outlawed magic, and that included magic markers.
Yep.
So they can't redact any documents. They just put
They're
them in
all in
redaction sleeves.
Redaction
You
sleeves.
just pull them out.
They're pre-redacted.
Like, who thinks? There is no doubt in my mind that a group of people get high as fuck in a room and just write down every stupid ass thing that they think of,
Mhm.
and then they record that,
Yeah.
and that is that show.
Man, Dwayne. I love him so much, man.
He is still the best character on the show.
I think I liked what's her name better the first year, but
Really?
yes. But man, Dwayne was so good. Yeah, the Rock Doc. I forgot about the Rock Doc. Evan says the Rock Doc for the win.
Remind me.
He was the guy that was on the commercials.
Oh, duh. Yes.
The Rock Doc.
Oh man. All you need to know about this case is on my last CD.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Oh man,
That
I love it. What'd
show-
you think of Chenoweth, Kristen Chenoweth?
I liked her. She's definitely no Lithgow.
Right.
But not many are.
She's not my favorite person.
The singing stuff was funny.
She's super talented.
She's
is
definitely super talented. I've just never been a big fan of her.
I enjoyed that she constantly called anyone that worked for her by their occupation and
Yeah.
refused to learn their name.
Lawyer.
So she just called him lawyer, and then at one point she calls the district attorney red lawyer.
That's a
it's
far worse
Oh,
restaurant.
dude, Judge Cameltoe, huh?
it's so dumb.
You
It's
laugh
so-
every time,
You
though.
yeah, of course you do. It's fucking ridiculous. Man, that show, if you people aren't watching Trial and Error, both seasons, did you like this season better or first season?
First season better. I still like the show.
Yes.
It'll be a strong comedy of the year contender for
Agreed.
sure. But I mean, it's hard to beat Lithgow.
Yeah, I would have it like a half a point higher, season 1.
Yeah.
not much. It's like, and again, this is a show I went in thinking like, there's no way they recapture the magic of season 1 again, and they more or less do. It's slight diminishing returns, but for the most part, it's just as good as season 1 in most ways. Yeah, man, I hope they get a 3rd season of that show.
That would be pretty fantastic. I seriously doubt it, but
and then last but not least, for finished shows and premieres, technically, Jack Ryan, the Amazon original, starring Jim from The Office.
Man,
have you guys seen that cut trailer before we start talking about the actual show?
yes.
It's basically scenes from The Office in which Dwight is pissed at Jim, but intercut with scenes from Jack Ryan, and it's fucking genius.
It's really good.
It's really
and
really
it
funny.
came out like the day after this.
It's impressive. Someone worked hard.
And quick.
That said, let's talk about Jack Ryan.
go ahead.
Whoever wants to start.
I mean, as far as a synopsis is concerned, if people aren't familiar with the works of Tom Clancy and the Jack Ryan series, for example, The Hunt for Red October, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Game, Sum of All Fears, and then whatever the Chris Pine one was.
I think a lot of people see those movies and
Shadow
don't
Recruit,
realize they're Jack Ryan movies, too.
Yeah, they're all the same people.
He's definitely, like, aside from the last one, which was literally Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, it's different actors, different time frames, different plot lines, like pretty much everything.
Yeah.
They are an anthology series, basically.
Right.
So this one is kind of, I guess, like the very beginning. Like they could have called it Jack Ryan Begins, because he is in the section of the government where he's monitoring terrorist spending or
financial channels.
Yes, and kind of raising up red flags. He gets put with this debunked a government official who gets apparently knocked down for something that he did, and gets put in charge of that department. And Jack Ryan's like, "Hey, there's this money. I think this is Suleiman guy." And he's like, whatever. And then shenanigans ensue.
Yeah, I mean, you basically. So the first episode was the only one that I felt kind of got a little bit cheesy in a way. Like they kind of said the new 9/11 like 13 times in the first episode. I feel like.
That's an over exaggeration, but I see what you're saying.
But I mean, they said it multiple times in like multiple different scenes. Like, and I was like, all right, I get you're really trying to sell that this is potentially a real bad fucking guy. But as the show goes on, like it's one of those things where for me every episode just got better and better. Like I really liked the first episode, and then like every episode got significantly more intriguing, added more onto the plot, and then by the end there was always like some crazy cliffhanger type moment at each episode's end that I really wanted to watch the next.
It's very well done binge TV.
Yes, it's almost
only 8
binge by
episodes.
design.
Yeah, and it's a big long movie basically.
Yeah,
it's an 8-hour movie.
Yeah.
I think I suffered from a slight bit of overhype on this show, but I was the last one to watch it. I think you guys had all finished it by the time I watched more than an episode.
Yes. Maybe even before you started, it sounded like.
Possibly.
I haven't finished it on the first day.
Yeah, and I watched the majority of it on Wednesday, and it came out on Friday. So, I mean, obviously pretty quickly, but...
I think I finished on Tuesday.
I watched like one episode on Saturday or Sunday, and then ended up finishing the other 7 episodes on Wednesday. But regardless... by no means am I saying it's a bad show. It's a really good show, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. If you like Homeland or 24, or any show where the CIA and other law enforcement agents are kicking terrorists' butts, then like totally a show for you. But I just I think I kept waiting on something to happen. Like for whatever reason, the way you guys talked about it, like I had a certain idea going in, and then it wasn't quite what I expected, and it threw me off.
It builds to that, though.
The last 3 episodes are...
It's a crescendo.
Holy shit.
And I think that they will maintain that particular level of action. Like, it won't be such a floor to start off with.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be quite this much of like an origin story kind of thing as it was.
I actually like that. I mean, so it's not a show that's filled with like 13 crazy moment of the year contenders,
right?
But it's
there's at least one solid one though.
Which one? I mean, spoilers, I guess, for Jack Ryan.
The fucking negotiation where Green Teeth, who kept following that family all over the place, and it's like, okay, we'll take the girl, you guys get the kids.
Yeah.
And Greer was like, who's up for character of the year in my opinion.
True
that
story,
was fucking great. But he was just like,
that actress
Ryan,
is so good anyway.
Just do it. And he's like, Fine. And he puts his gun down. They give the what? Blow! Right between the eyes. I'm like, oh shit! Like it was
Fucking
so
gunslinger
great.
style. That shit was great. I agree.
Yeah, like for me, it's one of those like it's just a really well told story. I actually like the grounded nature because that is more the Jack Ryan character. Like it's not like Shadow Recruit where it's a big action movie. Those stories from my
he's not
understanding of
Jason
the books,
Bourne.
yeah,
That is totally what Shadow Recruit is, and it's the only Jack Ryan thing I've seen. So that's what I anticipated going in, and my adjustment period was long. Like I was 5 episodes in before I finally like went, okay, like I think I get it now.
He can kick some ass, but his main thing is that he is super smart and very observant.
Evan did bring up the motorcycle or the scooter drone bombing was kind of out of nowhere as well.
I mean, it kind of that whole thing where he like went to the casino and
oh shit, yeah, I remember that.
That to me was all a little like
the drone guy was a little the drone storyline was a little weird in my opinion. Like
I don't know why those people fucked him and then beat the shit out of him and left without the money.
Never touched on that again.
Yeah, it was
just
there was some
one cuck
shit.
who likes to beat up people as well.
I think that I felt like that was just more motivation for that dude to like get rid of that money. You know what I mean?
And I get that, but like so he visited potentially the father of the guy that he killed wrongfully, and like there was not really a conversation had, and he said he was going to buy some eggs, and then he walked out without the fucking eggs, and
then he left a shit ton of money, which I kind of feel like in that particular area of the world is probably going to cause all sorts of problems for that guy.
Probably
they might come back, who knows. But
maybe it was definitely the one part of the show I didn't love.
I mean,
I'm at like a solid. I think I'm still at like a 7.5 on the show, though. I know I'm a little lower than everybody else.
I think I'm more along the lines of maybe an 8.5. Because the one part that I didn't really like that much was that at the very end when he was chasing Suleiman, he shot him in the back. Like there wasn't like this. Like there wasn't like a tense standoff or anything.
Yeah.
That dude
like
knew he was caught. He was running away. He did a really smart thing of shooting it up in the air and letting everybody drop, and then it was just target practice from there. But
I actually liked that because I mean
it was much more real,
playing into the realism of the show, which I think they did really well. I liked the Ebola storyline, and I liked the way
that
they
was
tied it all
cleverly
together.
done.
When you figure out what his plan is and how intricate it is, that's my favorite part of that show.
Yeah,
dude,
I'd probably be at a 9 on this show.
Man, the lady, his wife. That woman was fucking awesome in
was
the
really
show.
good.
She acted her ass off. The mom, the one that was leading her kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She was really, really good.
Yeah, she was great. Sorry,
I did not expect nudity in this show.
Yeah, boobs.
There was
not
some boobs,
a ton,
there was
but
some
yeah,
butt,
there was a couple.
some booty.
Who likes Jim Butt? Just a little of that.
Man, they like showing him without his shirt on.
He worked out hard for that show.
God bless him.
I'd be like, there will be at least one scene.
That storyline killed me when you finally figured out what happened.
Man,
that was rough.
Man. And the Greer stuff in terms of like what was. Yeah.
God, I love that character.
Same here. By the end, the character definitely grew on me. I did not dig it for the first few episodes.
He was like Mark Maron, you know, in season 2 of Glow. He's kind of a dick at first. And you're like, why the fuck are you being a dick? And then at the end, you're just like, oh. He's a dick with a heart of gold.
That's what I thought about Jack Ryan, too.
And I also liked that, they teased it at the end that he's going to Russia. Like, he's not going to take the job from that guy who was on that show you like, I think.
Timothy Hutton.
Yeah, Timothy Hutton. And what was that show on TNT?
I had to look this up. I already forgot it.
Oh, man, they were like con artists.
Yeah.
It was so
good.
good.
For the government.
For like that one.
I know what you're talking about.
Leverage.
That's it.
Man, that show was good.
Wow.
I know, right?
Dude, let's Eiffel Tower over Josh.
Yeah. Dreams do come true. Let's talk about some movies.
All right.
Chuck watched The Package.
I did.
And then he watched the movie on Netflix.
Well done.
Dick jokes!
Okay, so this is still the guys who did, like...
The Workaholics guys.
Workaholics guys, right?
Yeah, and then...
What is their, like...
Are they bad?
Affection for dicks.
Oh, this is the show where the dick gets cut off.
Yeah, he chops his dick off. They have to save him.
Is it bad?
It's not good.
I didn't figure it was.
Nearly as bad as the one from last year, though. Did Netflix sign them to like some sort of Adam Sandler kind of...
That one guy, yeah. I forget his name, but yeah.
The curly hair guy, right?
Yeah,
The
not
long
Adam
curly?
Devine. not the one who's actually successful outside of Workaholics.
Adam Devine's in this too, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is because
he's
he
not.
likes. Oh, not in the package? No, he was in the other one though. Game Over.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in
the
this too.
long-haired curly guy.
I know. I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So these kids all get together. It's kind of like an American Pie situation. They're going camping. They're going to get drunk. And
They're hoping to like touch a boob or something.
very similar. Hey, who's going to hook up with who?
Sure.
Shenanigans.
Teenagers.
And then this kid who I guess he's Native American or something like that. He's got a butterfly knife and he's peeing and he's, hey man, I'm going to cut my peas. And then the other two guys come up and say, "Arr!" And he's, dude, did just cut my dick off? Did I cut my dick off? And so the rest of the movie is him getting airlifted to the hospital, his buddies finding the dick, putting it on ice, and getting the dick back to him in the hospital.
Cool.
It's an
Hilarity,
hour.
I'm sure
It's
ensues.
an hour and 40 minutes of that. There are some parts that are okay, but for the most part, it's not good.
That's a bummer. The trailer had like maybe a couple laughs in it, but it definitely didn't look like holy shit. We got to see this.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's parts in it like where the dick gets bit by a rattlesnake and a guy has to suck the
that was in the
venom
trailer,
out.
yeah.
That wasn't funny.
I can't remember. There was one line in the trailer that got me really good, but it was just one line. That's probably a movie I won't watch.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I'm not gonna watch it.
I wouldn't put it. It's not going to be on like worst movie of the year or anything like that. But it's
More just
incredibly
Also,
forgettable.
apparently,
yeah.
Game Over Man was this year, not last year.
Oh shit, that will be on worst. That'll be on worst movies for sure.
What else we got? Do you want to see Operation Finale?
No, I wanted to, but I also heard it was mediocre.
And same here. And Happy Time Murders. I think that's just Evan.
I wanted to as well, but never got to it.
No worries. Someone tell me about Searching. I think this might be Chuck again.
It is Chuck.
I saw this movie.
I wish I should have just said yes and gone with you.
Why didn't you fucking come?
Because I worked the next day and it was my
So?
first day working,
So did it.
back working for a week. And I was like, I should get some sleep, and then I was up till 2 a.m.
God, you piece of shit.
That all
okay,
checks
so
out.
I should have gone. I really want to see this fucking movie.
Can we go
Okay.
spoiler free on this, if possible? I really
Yes.
want to see this.
Yeah.
Can I tell you one thing about the first 5 minutes?
That's
though?
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Heads up, it is like up level, like
Sad.
in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Give me the
Interesting.
spoiler free synopsis on this thing.
Spoiler-free synopsis. John Cho, who is a suddenly single father, has a 16-year-old girl. He's talking to her on FaceTime. I'll get to that in a minute. She says she's at an all-night study sesh, and she's just going to stay there. He's like, okay. Turns out 3 days later, no one knows where she is, and then a race to find out what happened to her
Okay.
ensues. The part of this movie that is important is the way that it is shot.
Yeah,
There is not a crane camera. There's not a handheld camera. There are no cameras outside of the camera on the computer,
Okay.
FaceTime cameras, or News at 11 style cameras.
Okay.
There are no external shots
It's-
of anything in this entire movie.
New age found footage.
It's sort of it's the hostage version of Unfriended.
Okay.
So there's a title or there's a name for that style of storytelling, and I can't remember what it is right now.
I just named it. But
It's definitely no. It's like it's voyeuristic in some ways. Basically, like it's like look-in editing or something like that. Like it's literally the act of looking through a camera that's not intended to be a movie camera. Basically,
Yeah, it was just really clever how they did it because they would also use the screen as the movie screen. So you would see like the mouse moving over, clicking on something, it would pull a picture up. FaceTime, click on it. John Cho's face. And that's how they told the story. Him calling the detective, you told me blah, 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 get the fuck over here, It's a FaceTime, you see his face and her face, and she's like, oh shit, I gotta get ready. The worst part of this
Interesting.
movie is Deborah Messing.
yeah,
she always is.
she tends to be. Yeah.
I mean, wait, Evan calls her the Antichrist, right?
Yes.
Isn't that okay?
Yeah. I mean,
it's not far off. She's not
call him like you
great.
see him.
John Cho is amazing in this movie.
He
He's
usually is.
really, really good. But the hook of this movie is not only the story itself, kind of the mystery of what happens, but also just the way that it is presented as far as the story is concerned.
Cool. That's definitely one I want to see. I'm excited to see.
It's very good. I'm glad I went.
Apparently, it took 13 days only to shoot, but 2 years to make due to editing and prep.
That makes sense.
That's crazy.
I was rocking my movie pass this week. Had to get my
Sounds like
money's
it.
worth.
Yeah.
Because I saw Fallout, Mission Impossible Fallout finally.
Fuck
Man,
yeah,
I want to
you
see the
did.
movie so bad.
It was awesome.
It
Yeah,
was
so
real
why
good.
didn't you come with me? Oh yeah, we did this.
Yes, we did.
this whole thing. Trey is a douche.
I was there.
And was sick. But anyway. Yeah, I definitely want to see Searching. The only other movie we have to talk about, I'm thinking about pushing. Are you guys going to watch Extinction?
I am about 40 minutes in.
I could watch it.
Obviously don't have to, but
No, I was way ahead in movies, and I think I'm behind now. I need to catch up.
I will just say this.
Fucking movie pass.
It is.
I mean, I
The
saw
first-
some good movies this week, man.
I know this is what you don't want to say about a movie, but the first half's a little slow and definitely confusing. Pay attention to what the fuck's going on. But man, to me at least,
Right now, he's having nightmares, and then all of a sudden, like the nightmares start kind of coming true with the invasion.
yes, he's having visions of an alien invasion, and then
An alien invasion.
an alien invasion happens relatively early in the movie. That's not super spoilery. It's where they go from there that's like, oh shit, like this is not at all what I thought it was. It's pretty crazy. I had it hyped up pretty good by Evan, and I still was at the end was like, fuck, like that was nuts. So I think you guys would feel the same. Obviously don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
it's worth watching. It's kind of low budget, and some of the acting is not good. But the story is really cool, and it's an hour and 35 minutes long, so it's a pretty quick watch.
Yeah, I think Searching was only 140.
We can do a little bit of a spoiler talk on it next
Sure.
maybe show if you guys end up getting through it.
Yeah.
If not, oh well, me and Evan will talk about it. But yeah, that movie's cool. And with that said, we have reached the end of our first non-Evan movie and TV show.
#3 for all.
He was basically here living vicariously through Josh, but
Hey, you were a great
Man.
mouthpiece.
next week.
Whatever. Trying to keep him engaged. Trying to keep the show fun.
Dude, he's been married for years.
Don't you still stay engaged when you're married?
No.
Was that a real question? I don't fucking know. You thought peanut butter was green.
You almost said pressed.
I did.
I still don't know what color it is.
It's
would have
purple.
been funnier if you said
idiot.
brown, and he would be like, "Wait a minute."
No, I
Is it not
honestly
brown?
don't know. I honestly don't know if it's brown, green. I can't remember. Whatever I thought it was, I was wrong. And now you guys have fucked with me so much that I literally don't know if it actually is brown, green, or what I think it is.
All right. Mission accomplished.
You suck.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bearing with my very cold hosting. It's been a while. I'll get the hang of it, maybe.
Nothing right now is very cold, you fuck.
That's fair. It's real fucking hot in here.
It's moist.
It's also almost 2 a.m. So we will catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening and watching. Later.
Bye.